the fallout of Chase U not being with us anymore. But we do have other things that are going on as well, not just the Chase U situation. We've got qualifying matches for Deadline, and we have got a few other bits and bobs. So with that being said, let's go over, shall we, to here. And I still need to just set this up. There we go. So this is the preview for tonight. So Axiom is taking on Ethan Page in a men's Iron Survivor qualifying match. We've got Kelani, Jordon and Giulia battling in a women's Iron Survivor qualifying match. That's going to bang. Kelani, Jordon against Giulia. That is going to bang. That reminds me a lot of last week's like Stephanie Vacour against Jada Parker. And that was a match we were really looking forward to. This is a match that I'm really looking forward to. So Axiom, Ethan Page, that'll be okay. Kalani, Giulia, that is going to be my highlight. Tatum Paxley takes on Fallon Henley for the North American title. That could be fun, but I don't think Fallon's losing the title so soon. So I don't give Tatum Paxley much of an opportunity. So I don't think she's going to get it, right? Then we've got Tony D'Angelo. He is defending the North American title against Shawn Spears. Again, not the most exciting of opponents. Shawn Spears really has not been built up, you know. And to be honest with you, I miss Ty Dillinger. Shawn Spears doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't think since he came in, he's made much of a splash, much of an impression. I think Ty Dillinger was a bit more fun. I think Shawn Spears, I don't know, doesn't really do it, to be honest. Ty Dillinger with the whole 10 thing was a fun gimmick and got called up and the crowd went crazy when he came out at number 10 at the Rumble, and there was something fun there. There was something to enjoy. With Shawn Spears, just not really kind of getting it, not really feeling it. Feels a little bit like when Tyler Breeze went back to NXT, like it sort of felt like the magic was a little bit gone. And I love Tyler Breeze. I really wanted Tyler Breeze to succeed. I really wanted Tyler Breeze to, you know, get somewhere. And it's a real shame he didn't, to be honest. It's a real shame that it just sort of petered out. So he does stuff, I think, with Up, Up, Down, Down. And I think he does stuff with Fanatics. So, you know, he's still around the game. But he's not an active wrestler to my knowledge anymore, Tyler Breeze. I don't know what the future's going to hold for Shawn Spears, but yeah, just doesn't quite feel the same as it did when he was Ty Dillinger. So this is the lineup, and as we said, I'm sure we're going to get the fallout to Chase U and that situation. So a few interesting bits for us to kind of get our teeth into, and yeah, I hope everyone's well. Kim's Chains, Nick Butcher said, please don't tell your sheep story. I think it'll make everyone very sad. Dudes, I'm so... What did Daze do to a sheep, said Kelly. That sheep story is so upsetting to me. And it's ongoing now. I find myself sitting here thinking about him and wondering where he is, if he's safe. I mean, right now it's midnight. And it's like every night I'm like, I hope he makes it. It's awful. It's awful. It's really awful. It's really awful. I don't want to think about it. It's flipping driving me insane. Spartan said, talk about the lonely sheep. I don't want to. I really don't want to talk about it. It's a very real situation that's happening at the moment. I would love to find a way of, like, getting him a little safe place that he can be and getting him water, getting him food. If I could, like, kidnap him and put him somewhere safe and give him food, give him water and all of that. But I can't. I mean, first of all, it's not my sheep. And second of all, I don't have that kind of facility because we have a dog. And to be honest, even if I did kidnap him and put him in my garden, I still can't totally protect him from like any foxes or anything that are going to be around. So, you know, all I can do is wait for the flipping farmer to do something. And no one else is bothered. No one else seems, but the farmer isn't bothered. My dad is like, it's just a sheep. My mum's a little bit bothered. I'd say if I'm that end of the scale, my dad's that end of the scale, I'd say my mum's in the middle. She'll have a look, see how he is, and she's a bit concerned, but equally she's not as concerned as what I am. It's awful. It's just an awful situation. Now, if you want to know more about the sheep story, then this is where the Wrestling Escape pod comes in. That's why you need to be watching that. Right? We're not going to talk about it because it's just going to flip and upset me. It's going to upset all of you. I don't want to do that. Right. When Jade comes back from injury, I think she should be moved to NXT. I think she would really benefit from working in NXT and get fully ready for Raw and SmackDown. I've said before, I'm a big believer in talent should go to NXT first. Like all talent. If you come into the company, you go to NXT first. I would have put AJ Styles there. I would have put Motor City Machine Guns there. I would have put Braun. Well, Braun is maybe an exception because the thing with Braun, you could have done Braun. But the thing with Braun was that you wanted that surprise because of his size. You know, they had this big monster. And so I think they wanted to put him with the Wyatt family and kind of have everyone go, oh my God, who's that guy? Rather than us getting to know him a bit better in NXT first. So actually, I just said there's no exceptions. Maybe there is the occasional exception when it comes to someone that you really want to make everyone go, oh my God, who is that? Because they've got such a physical presence, like Omos or Great Khali or Braun Strowman or, you know, those kinds of people. So actually, maybe I did find an exception. But outside of that, I would have everyone go to flipping NXT first, including Jade. And we said she should have gone to NXT. We said she should have gone to NXT. I think the truth there is they knew they were losing Edge. And they knew that Edge was going to, like, not sign. And I think they knew there was a chance he was going to go to AEW. So if you're losing Edge and your biggest rival are going to get one of your biggest stars, you need to make it seem like you've just captured one of their biggest stars. And I honestly wonder if Edge had not switched sides, would we have took a different approach with Jade Cargill? Would we have took a different approach? Would we have actually put her through NXT first? Or was it petty and we just didn't want to lose face? Because it was exactly the same time. We got her, and it was not long before Edge went the other way. And I think it was, all right, we might have lost a big star, but listen, we've gained a massive star. Actually, we've gained someone even bigger. She is going to be the top of the tree when it comes to our women's division. We have just got someone special. And you can't really do that if you then shove her in NXT. So I've always wondered if that was part of the reason, but I don't know. I don't know the truth, to be honest on that. Kian said, I enjoyed the pod. I couldn't stop laughing at your reaction to Tommy's PC crashing. It was a challenge. It was a challenge. It's a challenge most weeks, to be honest. Just trying to find where the kind of entertainment is, where the humor is, and whatever it is we're talking about. Add in flipping technical difficulties, and James said, put it out of its misery and get some lamb chops. Do you know what? I honestly, genuinely think if they came and took it to the slaughterhouse, I would be very sad. But I also think that it would be more humane, because this is just horrible. What's happening at the moment? Like, it's just awful. Yeah, it's awful. I don't want to talk about it. Jade, she should have gone to NXT. And Motor City Machine Guns, they should have got the tag titles. They should not have got the tag title straight away. That has left a bad taste in my mouth for them, says Kelly. Well, everyone knows my views on that. I know people are split on that. There's a lot of people that have watched them, that love them, rate them really highly, and really pleased to see their success, and I totally understand that. That is not a mystery to me why people feel that way. But yeah, as someone that didn't have that experience and didn't watch them, I would have put them in NXT so that more people could have got to know them, got used to them. They didn't even need to be there very long. just, you know, call them up after WrestleMania. Just have them there for, like, this first part and then call them up. I think the truth on that one is I think they know that the tag division is lacking a little bit. And I think they know that it needs a bit of an injection. And I think they also know that maybe DIY are on the verge of, you know, falling apart. They've kind of teased a bit of issue with the Street Profits. And so, you know, you've got a situation there. I think, to be honest, they might have looked at it and gone, we need a tag team, really. And who do you call up from NXT? You know, if you need a tag team, you can't really call up Fraxium, because I don't think Fraxium are going to be sticking together for a long time. So, I don't know, maybe you could have changed your mind and called up Fraxium and done something with them and stuck with them, and I don't know. But perhaps they're thinking, no, the future for Nathan Frazier is as a single star. We don't really want to call him up as part of a tag team. We want to keep working with him, but we need to work with him as a solo star. The tag team thing really is just something for him to do at the moment. It's not really what we see him for, like, long term. And then after that, what? Are you going to call up Hank and Tank? I don't think so. Are you going to call up OTM? I don't think so. Are we calling up Tyrese and Tyreek? I don't think so. You could maybe call up Gallus. But to be honest, we don't even really use them in NXT. So, like, would it be wise to call them up if we don't even really use them? If they're not deemed good enough, for whatever reason, to be used regular on NXT, then it's a hard argument to say that we should call them up to the main roster. So, I don't know. Perhaps there's a degree of circumstance at play with that one. Perhaps it's a situation where with Jade, we wanted it to seem like we'd captured a big star because we lost a big star. And for Motor City Machine Guns, we do have a genuine need for a tag team on the main roster. Because don't forget, before Motor City Machine Guns went to the main roster, there was a big rumor that it was going to be Lucha Bros and that they were going to go straight to the main roster. I remember that being a big talking point. But yeah, you know, look, general rule, I'm not a fan. This is nothing personal against Motor City. This is nothing personal against Jade. This is nothing personal against anyone that comes in and goes straight to the main roster. But by and large, I do like people going to NXT first, which is strange because I think a lot of people feel different. A lot of people didn't want to see Giulia go to NXT first. They didn't want to see Stephanie McCall go to NXT first. There's a lot of people out there that just want to see people skip NXT, because they see NXT as just developmental. They see it as nothing but developmental, and I do not see NXT that way. NXT is developmental / kind of third brand. You know, there's plenty of people in NXT that don't need to be taught how to wrestle. Giulia does not need to be taught how to wrestle. Stephanie McCall does not need to be taught how to wrestle. You could make the argument that Roxanne could be called up at any point. You can make the argument that Trick could be called up at any point. I mean, you've got this layer of people that are ready to be called up to the main roster. And then, yeah, of course, you've got layers underneath where people are learning, right? But there's always this layer of people that are ready to make that move. And so your Giulias and people, they go into that level, that ready for the main roster level. But you put them in NXT first so that it helps the NXT ratings. That's good, because we're always looking for NXT to have good ratings, right? We want that to be a brand that survives and thrives, and a good way of doing that is by putting in recognizable names, right? So you do it for that reason. You do it for the reason of getting people used to the talent, right? I mean, not all of us knew who Delta was, or Zarya, right? So now we can watch and find out about her, and then when she hits the main roster, we know what to expect, and we can react accordingly. Same with Stephanie McCall. I'd never actually, outside of like her match with Mercedes, I don't think I'd ever even seen any clips of her matches. So, you know, I'm not someone that's interested in making out that I know all these wrestlers. If they come from outside of WWE, there's a good chance I ain't going to know them, because I don't have time to be watching New Japan and TNA and all these indies and all of that stuff. I don't know any of the ID'd people apart from Kylie Ray. Giulia, because she'd been rumored for a long time, I got to watch some of her clips But before she was rumored, I didn't know her. Same with Stephanie Vacour, didn't know her. Same with Delta, didn't know her. So it's a great way of getting to know people as well, rather than having to try and do it on the main roster. And then, of course, if they come from, well, if they come from anywhere, WWE, there is no other promotion like it. There is no other promotion in the world that has got the size, the scale, the reach, the expectation of WWE. A lot of promotions, like you watch Giulia footage, she's in some sports gym, like playing to like a couple of hundred people. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like it's just a completely different world. Like it is a completely different world. It is the major leagues. It's like coming from Little League and go into Major League Baseball. Like, it might be the same game, but it's just on such a different scale that you can understand needing to go through a period of like acclimatizing. You can understand the need to kind of get your feet under the table and go, right, okay, how does this place work? Who do I speak to? Like, what is the chain of command? Like, who do I communicate with? If I've got a problem, who do I go to? Like, what's the protocol for this? What's the etiquette for that? Like, do you know what I mean? A bit of a probation period. Welcome to WWE. This is how it works. I think, you know, going through something like that for a couple of months is really no problem. So I have a very different view on what NXT can provide compared to just those people that think it's only developmental. And I don't see it as only developmental. So a conversation we've had before, I'm sure. A conversation we may have again. Wrestle Andy said, get the sheep on stream. Oh my God, are we still talking about the sheep? Are you trying to break my heart? I can't get close to him. I mean, I've tried to take him some water and it's ran away, understandably. So I mean, I can't even get close to him. My concern is water, really. Well, I'm concerned that he's on his own, but I'm also concerned that I don't know where he's getting his water from. It's just a fields. They are not coming each day and leaving water for the sheep. So the sheep is really having to survive on rain. And I'm guessing when it rains, there's going to be, you know, water droplets on the grass. I think he's surviving on that, which is why I took him some water. And there's water there now, but I mean, it's so cold, it might have frozen. The bucket might be frozen right now. My plan is, as I'm sitting here right now, get through to the morning, see where he is, see that he's okay, change the water, and I might even try and get it over to him a little bit closer than where it is right now. But I know as soon as I go over, he'll run away. It's just, will he hopefully go back to it? And, but the farmer's got to flip and come at some point. Oh, it's awful. It's a horrible situation. Lisa said, who do we think deserves the women's tag belts, since it looks like they're going to have to be vacated? Are there two women that you think could be good women's tag champs? Well, I mean, I love Kaden and Katana because they are a proper women's tag team. And so like, that has to be the goal for them. They are a proper women's tag team. They've been together years. Like, I don't see a future for them as solo stars because, you know, they're both quite small. And I know that you can make it being on the smaller side, but I think we can also agree it's a massive challenge. It's a big, big challenge because you're always outsized. You're always the underdog. And WWE is always going to favor the bigger, stronger looking people. It's always going to favor a Raquel, a Rhea, a Jade, a Bianca over a Katana chance. Yeah. So for me, those two, they've got to be in the conversation because really it's the tag belts or bust for them. So I look at those two. I do look at someone like Kiana James. I know she's injured at the moment, but like there just doesn't seem to be anything for her. I mean, since she got called up, there hasn't been anything. I think she's picked up an injury now. But, like, why not put her with someone and create a tag team there? And at least then get her going on TV. you know? At least then do something with her. Obviously, like, the Candice situation was a bit strange because she was with Indy, and I kind of felt like they could have done something there, but they didn't. Instead, they've moved her to Nia now. To be honest with you, I would look to see who is not being used. I mean, Isla and Alba have got to be in the conversation. Kaden and Katana have got to be in the conversation. Pure Fusion Collective have got to be in the conversation. Damage Control got to be in the conversation. You know, any kind of big faction, the tag titles have got to be in the conversation. So you've got options. And then anyone that's not being used, like Kiana James, you know, you can absolutely go with her. I know some might say Alexa and Nikki, but I feel like we're a long way off because we haven't even got Alexa back. And apparently when she comes back, she might not be in the group straight away. I do think she'll join up with Wyatt Six eventually. And then maybe we can start looking at Nikki and Alexa working as like a team together. And that'll be exciting. That'll be good. But as I said, I don't think we're anywhere near that or even close to that. So, yeah, probably just the teams that are already out there, to be honest. And then any women that can't quite make it, you know. James said R.I.P. to Mia Yim and Keith Lee's dog. Oh, I've not heard that news. That's horrible. That's horrible. So, yeah, that's... Is that... Where am I? Am I on my proper account? Yeah, I am. I was just looking to see if, like, I'd had that to come in, but no, I haven't. Yeah, that's awful. I mean, when you're a dog owner, you kind of can really appreciate how awful that news is. Oh, there we go. ID have 10 minutes ago just put out WWE ID just got much more smiley. And now we do actually have the graphic. There we go. Smiley Kylie Ray. Made her debut 2016. Scouted from Freelance Wrestling, hometown Chicago. That deserves a retweet. And it deserves fire emojis. There we go. Right. I don't know. Oh, is that Cora Jade? Cora Jade. Right. Who do we think will take the IC title? I loved the newest Unseen, said Matty O. Well, thank you, Matty O. I always try to get those Unseens out after shows out quite quickly because I might struggle tonight, actually, because I'm a little bit behind. But I always try to get them out because I know people go to bed. And so, you know, you've really got until about 5 a.m. UK time, which is about midnight Eastern time. And shows don't finish till about like 3. So you've got that kind of 2-hour period. And then that's it, really. I've really noticed that if ever Unseen goes up like after 4:30, which is like 11:30, it can struggle. So it was good to get it out early, and I will always look to do that. But the problem is, of course, you always get the little bits that kind of drop afterwards. So there was a few little bits that dropped afterwards, but I really was not worried by them. I think it's way more important that I get the video out and that people can actually watch it before they go to bed, rather than wait for something that you don't even know if anything's going to drop, you know? So, yeah, I wasn't worried about that. I'm going to still look to keep getting it out early. But what the good thing is it means there's some interesting stuff that goes into Unseen tonight. So we do already have quite full folders, and we've not even had NXT yet. So that's good. That's going to help. And yeah, I thought Unseen was pretty good. There was a lot of talking points from Raw, of course. I thought Raw was pretty decent. I gave it a 7.25. On reflection, was that a little high? Should it have been a 7? I don't think it was a 6.75 show, but I don't know. I went 7.25. I'm all right with that. I do think that the match quality kind of let Raw down, but I do think there was a lot of talking points. It's not every week you get the Women's Intercontinental Championship being revealed. I know that the way they did it was a bit weird, but listen, That's still a historic moment. And then, of course, that amazing New Day segment. That was incredible. And we got some big announcements about what we're getting on SmackDown with the Bloodline backstage. Of course, we continued the build with Gunther and Damian Priest. Again, people are split on that. Some people are loving it. Some people are concerned with how it's making Gunther look. So that is dividing opinion. Obviously, we got the news that Jade is out and we needed a replacement. And we found that replacement because it was confirmed after Raw that Bayley is the replacement. So we got that information as well. Technically, we didn't quite get it on the show, but I don't think too many people were left in doubt as to who that replacement was going to be. So I thought that, you know, I've said before, when I score a show, I look for talking points. I don't want to watch a show that's dull. I don't want to watch a show that's bad. I'll take a show that's good, great, of course I will, but normally a show is good or great because it gives you a lot to talk about. A lot of stuff goes down, a lot of talking points, a lot of moments like Bron Breakker going into the edge of the table. That actually increased my score because it was a moment, it was a talking point, it was something that we all reacted to, and you know, it was a moment that we were like, oh my God, you know, it made us feel something. And so even though it might just be a moment in a match, it was still significant, and it increased my score. So I really enjoyed Raw, and I thought the review video was interesting. A little bit of a mixed bag, few people not feeling it as much, but I made it quite clear who I think should get that first IC Women's Championship. I'm not going to change my mind on that. I know that everyone's got like their own favorite female wrestler. I know there's people really campaigning for certain people to get it. And again, I'm not going to be arguing with anyone. If people are adamant that it should be Dakota Kai, or they're adamant it should be Io Sky, or they're adamant that it should be, you know, flipping Charlotte, Alexa, I don't know. Cool, fine, no problem. But I know that I would love for it to be Natalya, because I would love for her to get that recognition, because I just think she does so much. And I think that it's hard to find another woman that's been in WWE for as long. And it's hard to find a woman that has done so much for others as well, because she is someone that has been to NXT a lot. She is someone that has like helped a lot of women. She is someone that when you go to the main roster, she is your first opponent, and she will talk you through that process and, you know, welcome to the main roster. I think she is genuinely a lovely person that is there, you know, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. She's like, in many ways, she's like the mother of the group in my mind. She's like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say locker room leader, because I don't think she puts her foot down, but I think like, I don't think there's anyone disrespecting Natalya. I don't think there's anyone that's, you know, I think Natalya's got a lot of say and a lot of sway, actually. I think, like, when Natalya talks, I think a lot of people listen. And I think there's real respect for what she's done, where she's been, what she's provided, the amount of people that she's helped. All of that stuff, that behind-the-scenes stuff. Not interested in who you think's cute, right? I'm not interested in who you ride or die for. For me personally, I'm looking at who's given a lot to WWE and who deserves the recognition and the honor of being that first women's Intercontinental, because I'm really hoping that they treat that title with the same level of prestige that we have treated the men's version with in the past. I know it's not always been perfect, but I think we can agree a title belt that's been around since the 70s, that has main evented premium live events, that has been really regarded as the workhorse title. I really feel like that is a belt that, you know, it should matter. This women's version of it should matter. It's also the same reason why I don't mind them naming it after it, because I think it's got name value. If you was to call it the, I don't know, the Internet Championship, or I don't know, the Social Media Championship, the Television Championship, the Netflix Championship, the Northern Hemisphere Championship, I don't know. Like, for me, though, that doesn't mean anything. None of that means anything. That's not, I've got no, I don't know how prestigious that belt is. I know how prestigious the Intercontinental is. So a women's equivalent, a women's Intercontinental, you're already telling me where the bar is being set. I already know what to kind of expect. And I expect big things because I expect big things of the men's Intercontinental. Look at Gunther's reign and how historic and record-breaking that was. And, you know, look at when Jey got his hands on it, you know. And this is just really recent stuff. Really recent stuff. That belt, it means something. And so the women's version should mean something as well. So who should be the first holder of it? Who should be the Pat Patterson? And honestly, I would love personally for it to be Natalya. And I really don't think I'm going to change my mind on that. But if you think that it should be someone else, absolutely cool. I have no issues with people saying, no, you're wrong. It should be this person. It should be that person. But just be warned. Don't think you're going to change my mind on it. Days after Survivor Series, do we think that Hunter will put singles gold on Jey Uso? I think the only reason he dropped the belt is so he could be fully involved in the Bloodline story, said Lisa. Well, I would like to see him get a world title. I think that he has ticked a lot of boxes in the sense of, I think his matches are fine. Could they be better? Yes. But then you could say that about a lot of people in WWE, you know, without being disrespectful. I don't think WWE really worries too much on their weekly shows about having incredible banging matches, right? I mean, the fact that we keep scoring the matches and the vast majority come out as being good sort of suggests that we're not really learning from, you know, the matches previous to try and make them better. I think WWE has got a pattern. I think it's got, you know, a standard. I think that the standard, the average match is fine. It's watchable. It'll have some moments. But I don't think they're trying to improve that standard or push the envelope. I don't think that, like, if someone has just a decent match, they're being spoken to backstage. I think it's sort of seen as job done, to be honest. I think it's just sort of seen as job done. I think there is a higher expectation on the main event. I think there's a slightly higher expectation on the opening match. But outside of that, I don't think match quality is really something that they worry too much about. So I think, you know, to penalize him for that, I think would be a bit harsh because I think he ticks the box. That's it. Is it a box that gets ticked? Yeah, he ticks the box. It's not like he goes out there and his matches absolutely stink. I do still think he's a better tag team wrestler than a singles wrestler. But he ticks the box. He ticks the box. Promo-wise, I've always liked his promos. I think he's good. His delivery is good. So I've always liked his promos. I think it's one of those where match quality, you'd go out of 10, maybe 5, 6. But it's more 8, 9 when it comes to tag team, but 5, 6 as a solo star. Promo-wise, probably about an 8. I think he's really good on promos. I like his delivery. I like when he's like getting in people's faces. And like he can actually fire the delivery quite quickly. You know, sometimes there's the odd little kill shot in there. He doesn't really rely on kill shots too much. It's more the aggression in the delivery. So, yeah, I like his promos. I'd say his promos are better than his match quality. But 10 out of 10 for presentation. I think it's some of the best presentation in WWE. With the whole that and him coming through the crowd. I mean, it's brilliant. Yeet has worked. The arm thing has worked. Coming through the crowd has worked. I mean, it's as good as it gets. I mean, I can't fault it. The whole crowd join in. It's electric. You feel like you're seeing a big superstar arrive. And I just think that that box isn't ticked. That box is flipping blown up with like a nuclear bomb. It is beyond perfect. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. I can't praise it enough. They've killed it. His aura as a result is off the charts. I mean, he is just they've just created a monster. They've created a megastar. They've created someone that's one of their top merch sellers. Jey Uso has left the Usos and become one of their top merch sellers. And again, I think it really shows it's not because of match quality. That is not what's going to do it, really. You know, you've got to have that aura. It's the aura that's the most important thing. That box, you know, it's more important than your promos. It's more important than your match quality. Actually, of the three, I think match quality is probably the one that matters least. I think if you can, like, cut really good promos and you've got that aura, when the bell rings, your matches might not be brilliant. But, you know, we can sort of work on that in the sense of we can reduce the amount of matches you have. We can protect you like we do with Logan and celebrities. You know, we can get you to do a few things and we'll just get you doing them. We won't do or worry about the stuff you can't do. Let's just focus and showcase the stuff you can do. A la Ultimate Warrior, who had literally like 5 moves he could do. And so we just kept building his matches around those 5 moves. And he went on to be like WWE champion and, you know, like is regarded as one of the biggest legends ever. The Ultimate Warrior. Think about the merch you can get of him and all his face kind of on all the bedspreads and blooming clocks and lamps and pajamas and God knows what. Countless action figures. It certainly wasn't his wrestling that got him there. It was his aura. And aura's so important. And Jey Uso's got it in flipping spades, mate. So, yeah, I really cannot make an argument as to why you wouldn't give him the World Heavyweight Championship at some point in the future. I'm certainly not saying straight away. You know, you do it, you tell a story. Maybe he has the odd setback. I look at the WWE Championship as being the guy, right? I don't look at the World Heavyweight Championship as you are the guy. I look at that as you can call yourself a world champion now, but you are still second. Like, the person that's got the WWE Championship is the guy. The person that's got the World Heavyweight Championship, it's that step below, really. You are that step below, in my mind. So I can't say that Jey is quite the guy, right? I can't say he's Cody level or Roman level or Rock level, but I can certainly say that he is that step below on the current roster. If you look at his aura and his presentation and what he brings, so I've no problem with him having the World Heavyweight Championship. I really don't. Next year, no problem whatsoever. And it could be in his future because he's already had the mid-card title. Well, I don't think he needs to go back to having a mid-card title. What does another Intercontinental title run do for Jey Uso? I don't think it really does much. But Jey Uso as world champion for a bit could be really interesting. I would not be down on that. Certainly if his merch sales going to keep like going the way they're going, you know. But Ricky Starks is getting screwed. He just showed up in GCW, set up a match with Matt Cardona, and now he's been forced to pull out of all appearances on GCW by Tony Khan and AEW. I've not really been keeping an eye on that situation. I know he did interviews, so but I've not been keeping an eye as to what's been going on. Tom said, do we think Penta will debut at the Rumble or NXT? Well, I would put him in NXT first. Again, for the reasons I stated. I think that you need NXT to get ratings. I think you also, and so if you want to see Penta, you got to tune into NXT. I also think that we need to figure out how best to present him. We need to work on his music. We need to work on his Titantron. There'll be some people that might not know Penta, but of course, he is coming from the second biggest promotion in North America, AEW. That does make it a little bit more likely that people are going to be aware of who he is, right? Because he was featured quite prominently for them. I don't think he's been featured for them for quite a while, but he was quite prominent, like going back a few years. So I would imagine that there's a good chunk of people actually on this occasion that would know who Penta is. But I'm not going to change what I said, and that is that I would put him in NXT. I think it's good for their ratings. I think it's good for us to get him set up and get him, like, you know, gone through that welcome to WWE. I think because of his age, he doesn't need to be there long. If he comes in now, I'd look to move him to the main roster after WrestleMania. I think he would be a good after WrestleMania surprise, right? The other thing as well is that people want what they want, right? And they don't want to have to wait for it. People don't like waiting. But if you make them wait, that moment just becomes bigger. It just becomes bigger. Like, you can put Penta straight onto the main roster, but that's it. You're done. I mean, where do you go from there? You know, all you've got then are stories and booking. Whereas if you put him down in NXT, you're delaying that moment where he actually comes up to the main roster. That makes it, you know, a moment that people can look forward to if you are a Penta fan. And, you know, do you do it in the Rumble? Do you do it? Do you call him up in the Rumble? Do you call him up after WrestleMania? Like, when would you do it? When would you pull that trigger? And so you've got that kind of, you know, that moment is still there. You've still got, so you don't have to do the debut in WWE and main roster debut in the same moment. You can actually space them out and grab two moments, because it'll be a moment when he arrives in WWE, but then it's another moment when he goes to the main roster. So again, I'm a broken record, but I am a believer in NXT, people going to NXT first. So I would personally put him in NXT, but because of his age, I won't keep him there long. I'd have him called up after WrestleMania, which just gives you a Raw after WrestleMania moment, you know, and we all love those. That's if he comes, and honestly, I think he does. I think he does. He was rumored to be coming in with Phoenix, wasn't he? But obviously, Ray Phoenix has got to now work his injury. So I don't know what that's going to look like for Penta. Maybe they bring him straight in and he works with LWO. Maybe you have like Rey Mysterio, Penta, and Dragon Lee as like a trio. I mean, they could do that. Put him straight on the main roster with Rey, and Rey can sort of show him the ropes. So, you know, you could absolutely do that. Penta and Phoenix are one of the greatest tag teams, said Eric. Ninja said Ridge is technically a pretty good target for the mids. Pretty good target for the mid. I don't know what you mean by that. Southern Zombie, shout out to you, my friends. Hello, hello, hello. Hello to everyone that's joining us as we are getting closer towards the start of this week's NXT. NXT, we're just minutes away now. What's your opinion on LA Knight? Do you buy into the hype and his popularity? I actually don't. I never have. And I think that kind of upset the community a little bit back in the day. LA Knight came in. I mean, I watched him in NWA. And to be honest, I think what happened was there was quite a few people that certainly on the main roster that had not watched him before, because he was doing his shtick and it was getting reaction. People really loved his catchphrases, like, oh my God, who's this guy? It reminded them of The Rock and all that kind of stuff, right? I feel like I had gone through that. I feel like I'd heard his catchphrases. I feel like where some people are now, which is like they've seen it. Yeah, they've seen him. They know what he's about. They've heard his catchphrases. I feel like I was there really during NXT. I'd seen what he brought to the table, right? And I liked him. I was not down on him, and I wasn't down on him when he went to the main roster. But it was pretty bonkers watching him, just people going crazy about LA Knight. And it was, I said before, it was a little bit like the train had left the station without me, because I'd watched him in NXT and he was over in NXT, but he was not crazy over, you know? We were doing little feuds with him and like Cameron Grimes, but like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't like people were losing their minds over LA Knight. He was good, he was over, but nothing like when he went to the main roster. And so you had all this fever and all this noise and all this stuff going on. I was not, well, I suppose I was a bit confused by it, to be honest. I feel like it has settled down a bit now. He still gets good reactions, but I don't feel like that same fever and noise is quite the same as it was, right? And I think that's not a bad thing, to be honest, because I think like it's kind of settling back down a little bit now, and I kind of feel like it's probably going to get in line with probably where it should be. I don't think that being up here was like sustainable. I think it's just dipped a touch, and no, I mean I don't dislike him. He's just a wrestler really that's around, that brings something to the table. I think he's a good solid hand to have. I think he works as a mid-card guy. I think he works in a tag team. You could put him in a faction. He can be face. He can be heel. He's just a good guy to have on the roster, really. But, you know, do I think he's like a magic superstar that's like one of the greatest we've had? No, I don't. I don't feel that. And do I think he should be world champion? I think he's, you know, I'm not against the idea, but like there's probably a list of people I want to see there before him get that, you know. I'd make the argument Jey is doing more with merch sales. I'd make the argument that, like, for me, Sami Zayn, I'd love to see that. Sami's been on the main roster a long time, so, you know, I'd love to see that. There's quite a few. I mean, I don't even know if Bron Breakker might be starting to kind of find his way higher up that list, you know. Tricky, very tricky. I don't know. It would need to be the right story for me to be like, yeah, let's go LA Knight. He deserves this. So I'm not down on him. I was confused by the level of the hype. I wish him all the best. I really, as I keep saying, I'm not down on him. But not someone that I personally am like really crazy about. He's not someone that I'm like, oh my God, LA Knight's on the show tonight, you know? And there were people like that. There were people that were really desperate to see him every week, but that's a good thing, isn't it? It's good for him. Right, we are just seeing, I think we're seeing, is that International Drive? I think it is. There is the crowds. So the show is beginning. Let's get what we need. I need to get this recording going. We want the Tonga twins again. Signs. Seems like there's some people that go on a regular basis that really want the Tonga twins. Right, we're looking at last week, and we are looking at what happened with Chase U. So, obviously, that was heartbreaking. That was how we ended last week's show. Ridge and Andre Chase. Are we going to start with Ridge or Andre Chase? Gonna have to wait and see what we start with. Chris, hello. Shout out to you, my friends. Good to see you. Some Monday Night Raw. Raw was good. I enjoyed Raw. Daze, just a thought. If Penta and Ray do come, will they bring Alex or whatever? I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't. I found him flipping annoying personally. When I was watching AEW, I did not enjoy. I mean, I suppose the thing is you do need someone that can do talking for them, but I didn't think that he was the right person. I didn't think he was the right fit. So, personally, I hope not, but maybe some of you were into it and you enjoyed it and you'd like to see him, but I don't think he will. Right, we just got a video package for last week. Means that, hello all, we've got the United States Championship match at Survivor Series. Like always, LA Knight is famous. It sucks. Is suit for Nakamura. Good night, everyone. I don't know what you mean by the... Are you saying it sucks for Nakamura because he's not going to win? I don't think he'll win. I think they'll stay with LA Knight as champion, I agree. I do hope, though, that Nakamura looks really good in the match and good in the feud, though. Because he is definitely someone I want to see get more opportunity. Here we go, look. Here's all the sad faces. Ridge down, Thea down. There's the crying girl. Apparently she was part of NXT, part of the Performance Center. There's the crowd applauding. Chase U music plays. So there's people in the crowd with their Chase U shirts on. And it's Ridge Holland that comes out. Oh, very good. Very good. That is cute. Ridge Holland comes out and he's laughing and he's smiling. Crowd are booing. I gotta be honest, as it was playing, I was sort of thinking, like, I thought they had to disband. I thought it was going to be Andre Chase, looking glum, of course, just wanting to play it one last time. But we know that Chase U is done. But I actually didn't expect it to be Ridge. That is a good little troll job right there from Ridge Holland. Ridge responsible for Chase U being no more. And he does not look sorry about that fact. He does not look glum. I told you so. Crowd are booing. Ridge puts his arms outstretched. There's a couple of dudes in the back that are like, Chase U, Chase U, Chase U. They're trying to keep that dream alive. Ridge Holland says at Deadline, I'll be seeing you. So Ridge, of course, not only broke up Chase U last week, but won the opportunity to face Trick Williams. There's Booker T laughing his head off. He loves it. I told you. I'm just saying. He loves it, doesn't he, Booker? He flipping loves it. Apparently, Fightful are reporting that it could be because of that Chris Van Vliet interview. Looks like he's being punished again. Oh, it's a bit spicy, isn't it? Bit spicy non-WWE news. Okay, they're just running down the card there. Look at that graphic. Drawn. Look at this. These two pointing at each other. That's great. They had pictures there of Tatum, like, animated, drawn, pointing, and they had Fallon pointing. It looked really good. Right, Ethan Page is going to be starting off the show. Match-wise, he's taking on Axiom. So Ethan Page making his way down. I wonder who wins this, because I think is Nathan Frazier in the match. I mean, it would feel like Ethan goes in. He's obviously the bigger single star, but is there not a story if Nathan's in there that Axiom and Nathan will have to fight each other? And they did sort of hint at it, like what happens if we both qualify. That's just making me think that Axiom has got a chance here, you know. It's making me think that he's got a real chance of actually getting through. And then I can see Ethan looking gutted. I can see Ethan looking really frustrated. Maybe he finds his way onto the show in a different way, in a different feud, in a different match. I might even have Axiom a slight favourite here, actually. I might have Axiom a slight favourite. Which I might also be in the minority of. Don't know. What can you say about Grayson Waller? Do we see him as a main eventer? I think he's a good guy, said Saul Hackdoggan. Yeah, Grayson Waller, I really like, actually. I don't think we've even seen, like, 90% of what he's going to achieve. I think that he has got a natural ability to talk, and he's quite good at taking, like, some shots as well. I just think that this partnership with Austin Theory has been a real anchor. I think it's really held him back, and I think it's actually held Austin Theory back as well. I think at first it was a good way of just getting them both on TV, but I don't know, man. These are two talents that you really see as being significant in the future. I see them both as being significant. I don't think that Grayson and Austin Theory are two talents that are just destined to just plod along. I see them both, like, you know, really being in the mix. Commercial break then, as Ethan goes out the ring. But I think what we need is we need Grayson to be cutting more promos on the shows, and he needs to be getting in his insults and his kill shots. And, you know, I mean, listen, we saw the success that MJF had in AEW with his promos. His match quality was excellent as well, of course, but for the longest time, people were saying he can talk, but he can't wrestle. He's obviously put that to bed now with a series of great matches. But for the first couple of years, the consensus was that MJF could talk, but he couldn't back it up in the ring. That upset MJF, and then he went to prove that he could by having, like, hour-long matches and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And he did change that narrative. I think with Grayson Waller, I don't really feel like we've even got to first base with him in regards to have him cut great promos. Have him go out there and cut promos. I mean, if I was managing SmackDown or whatever, I would give him time to do promos, and I would tell him in advance, I want you to really think about what you're going to say, because these are going to be arguably even more important than your matches. I need you to shock the internet. I need you to do some stuff that's going to grab attention. Go and watch, like, MJF's promos. Go and watch, like, some of the great promos we've had in recent years from, you know, CM Punk. That amazing promo from New Day, you know? There were some great kill shots in that New Day promo. And it hit even harder because it was like brothers saying it to each other. You know, the closest of friends. Just made that knife go that little bit deeper. You didn't expect them to go that far. But there were some great lines in there, based in truth, about how Xavier's never won a championship. How Kofi just threw away Kofi Mania, you know, in 6 seconds, 7 seconds to Brock Lesnar. You know, loads of bits in there, which was savage. And that's what I would say to Grayson. I'd be like, give me those promos, and we'll give you matches, and we'll just make you a real old school heel in those matches where, you know, you kind of go to lock up and then don't and roll out the ring and, you know, forget this, like, but it's your mouth that's going to, you know, talk people into the room. So that, you know, that's what I want to see from him. And, like, the creative just hasn't supported him. He's just been in a bit of a nonsense tag team with Theory. And I feel like for months we've just waited for that tag team to break up. So let's do it. Let's pull the trigger. Let's break them up. Hopefully a really good feud between the two. Hopefully that's where we can get, like, some verbals going. I think Theory will get the better of that feuds. But Grayson can still get plenty out of it with, like, you know, the verbal exchanges, the promo exchanges. But I like him. I was a fan of his in NXT. It's just main roster. It's, you know, yeah, I suppose in a way he's a small fish in a big pond on the main roster. It's a real big pond. It's very hard to stand out, isn't it, on the main roster? Ethan gets chucked back into the ring. Axiom on the outside. Chase U is now dead, but the debut of Tatum will be soon, says James. James, shout out to you. I'm getting some news coming through about this AEW stuff. It seems like it's the big talking point right now. Kip up there. Oh, big boot by Ethan. That looked good. That was good. He just... sometimes it's just really satisfying to see someone just get booted in the face. Yeah. Certainly when it's Axiom and he did that kind of handspring. You know, he went back, handsprung. Oh, just a big boot in the face. Shot coming in there. This guy is 17 years in the business. He's not a Johnny-come-lately. Big chop there by Axiom. Backstage, we've got... I do like that no-quarter catch crew team. I do like Tavian and Miles Bourne as a team. Over by the ropes goes Axiom. Forearm strike there by Ethan. Knee coming in there by Axiom. Against the ropes. Ethan. Spanish fly. Ethan down 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Grayson Waller reminds me of The Miz. He's annoying, but as a result, I hate him, said Kim's Chains Nick Butcher. Yeah, that's not a bad comparison, to be honest. I'm hoping that he can be... I mean, he's very arrogant. He is a very confident talker. He's going to have insults. I suppose I'm hoping that he's going to have insults and kill shots that are going to be ones that really make the internet stand like to attention, like really make them pay attention. I'm not sure that The Miz was able to find that on a regular basis. That's the only thing that I would say. He makes some good points, The Miz. Do you remember that Miz promo of him with Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack? That like gets played every now and again because it was so passionate and so, you know, I'd like to see a bit of that from Grayson on a not a regular basis. You can't get away with doing it regular, but certainly a more regular basis than what we got out The Miz. But then I feel sorry for The Miz because The Miz did what he was asked. And I think a lot of the time what he was asked to do was that sort of cheesy, corny comedy stuff. You know, that's what Vince used him for. Maybe a Miz under Triple H would have looked a bit different, actually. Miz was maybe just held back a bit that it was Vince that was booking, you know. Ethan Page in control and he's keeping Axiom grounded. We do have a result of our poll. Who wins? Ethan Page, 64%. Axiom, 35%. Yeah, I'm probably about that. 70-30 Ethan. I just can't shake that Axiom said about, like, what if we both win? I think Ethan's definitely going to be at Deadline. It's just, will it be in this match? You lot think that it will be, and I can totally understand that. Right, Axiom getting hurled into the corners really hard. Big forearm strike by Ethan as Axiom goes to the outside. Ethan double underhooks. He's got Axiom draped. Oh, looked like he was going to go for a DDT, but he actually flipped him round into a backbreaker. Shoulder up there by Axiom. That was kind of a fun move where he flipped him round and hit him with the backbreaker. Right now we got Axiom going over to the corner. Turns over the top, lands on his feet. Big boot coming in there by... Ah, look at that. Lovely kick. Lovely kick. Right now, Axiom is going up top. Going for a Spanish fly. He's certainly in position for it. Ethan just struggling a bit. Goes up. Oh, gets it. Gets it. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Ethan. Spanish fly off the top. Tell you what, Ethan kind of went down. It looked like he was going to just clip the top of his head, but he does manage to like rotate fully by the time he lands. There was a moment there where it felt quite close. You don't want to be coming down on your neck from the top, do you? Axiom going up top. Big shot coming in there by Ethan. Enjoy your food, William. Yes, William. Enjoy your foods. If Axiom wins, will his premiums on car insurance go down by 30%, said Kim's Chains. Yes, for 1 week only in celebration. James said, Daze, you're forgetting one thing about the MJF kill shots. It takes an hour to get to them. That is true. That is true. That is the criticism, isn't it? You are right. It does. You do go round the houses to get there. Again, though, it's so hard to know because he's such a good talker. Tony Khan might be like, I want you to have the first 15 minutes of the second hour. And so, you know, he kind of has to fill time by talking and talking and talking until he can get to his kill shot. If it was like, if he was given 5 minutes time, I think he'd obviously get there a lot quicker. But I wonder if, like, he was such a ratings draw. I wonder if he was such a ratings draw that Tony was like, I'm going to give you time because, you know, people tune in to watch your segments. So I need you to stretch your promo out. So I don't know what, it's one of those, what, you know, is it that he needs that amount of time to get to where he needs to get to and it's MJF's fault? Or is it that Tony has given him that time because he is a ratings draw and so he has to fill it, you know? And unfortunately, he can't fill it with kill shot, kill shot, kill shot. So you do get quite a bit of waffle sometimes with his promos. Yeah, good point. Good point. Christian says, have you heard about AEW pulling Ricky Starks? Tony Khan hates him. Yeah, it's not something I really follow. It was mentioned earlier. I think it was James that mentioned it. I don't really follow the AEW stuff. I mean, it's good to know what's happening. But, like, it ain't stuff I'm putting in unseen or whatever. But if we do just jump over, look, I got sent this from Ryder. This is from Sean Rossap. GCW sources tell Fightful Select that Ricky Starks has been pulled from all of his upcoming planned GCW appearances by AEW. We're told that AEW had taken exception to GCW talent Effie bringing up Shad Khan on a recent podcast. In regards to AEW running the Hammerstein Ballroom and Shad effectively paying Tony Khan to stay away. What? What does that mean? In regards to AEW running Hammerstein Ballroom and Shad effectively paying Tony Khan to stay away. After that, AEW was not interested in having Ricky Starks work GCW. I don't understand that bit. What does that mean? In regards to AEW running Hammerstein Ballroom, so AEW took exception to Effie talking about Shad in regards to AEW running the Hammerstein Ballroom and Shad effectively paying Tony to stay away. After that, AEW was not interested. I don't get it. I mean, I haven't heard that interview. I don't even know what this is all about. But if that makes sense to you, then so be it. AEW also said that Ricky Starks is able to take other independent dates from other companies. Okay, so Shawn is implying here that it's all to do with Effie and maybe a couple of other bits, something to do with the Hammerstein Ballroom. Don't know. Sort of suggests that it's not so much about Ricky himself, unless this is being used as like a cover. And actually it is, but they just don't want to say it because of bad PR. But instead it's more to do with whatever this stuff is. Don't know. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I also massively not that bothered because it's AEW drama and it's not really anything that I'm not that engaged with. Again, though, I like to know because it's good to know what's happening, you know. But yeah. I think Daze should dress like a sheep and befriend the sheep, like the rhino scene in Ace Ventura. Do you know what? I don't feel like I'm that far mentally away from doing it, to be honest. I'm really worried about that sheep. Even, honestly, I promise you, even as I'm sat here now, I'm like, it gets light about 7. That means the sheep's going to need like another 5.5 hours. Do you know, I even Google searched sheep only sleep for 4 hours. If sheep slept for like 12 hours, you'd feel a bit better because at least half the day he's asleep. They only sleep 4 hours? That means that he's on a field on his own for 20 hours? 20 hours of him just looking around? He's not even doing that now. I think he's given up. I don't want to talk about it. Axiom goes up top, jumps on the back of Ethan. Axiom gets driven back into the corner, jumps on top again. I tell you what I'll do. I'll record him tomorrow so you can see him for yourself. How about that? How about that? Oh, suplex there by Ethan. Going up and, oh, straight across the knee. Going for the cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Axiom. Wasn't Tony's dad against the idea of him owning a wrestling company? Don't know. I don't know what conversations were had. Forearm strike to the back here by Ethan. This match has had a fair bit of time, hasn't it? It's been all right. It's been all right. It's been one of the better Ethan matches I've seen, actually. Ethan on that middle turnbuckle, looking for the razor's edge. Axiom is all the way up in the sky. Reverses it. Lovely work there by Axiom. Crowd are trying to cheer him on. Look, kids are on their feet. Oh, big clothesline. 1, 2, 3. And it is Ethan that gets the victory. Big clothesline and a big win for Ethan Page. Just as things were looking a little bit more optimistic, that optimism is ripped away. Boom. Daze, just play Happy Sheep audio, then the sheep will come to you. You pet it and give it water and food. I don't know what Happy Sheep audio is. What I do know is that sheep are, I think, a bit suspicious of humans. I'm not even sure Happy Sheep audio, whatever that is, would necessarily work. It's a good idea, though, to maybe play some bleating so that he thinks that those statues are communicating. Then maybe he will wander over and then he'll see the bucket that I left. He doesn't need food. The field's full of grass. That's fine. Does need water, though. Settle down, Ethan. You've not won anything yet. "25 minutes of sheer chaos. This match is my kind of match," said Nathan. I just pinned your tag partner. The guy that carries the weight in your team. Axiom is not the driving force. Okay, here comes Wes. Has Wes got a new haircut? Is that a new style for Wes? He looks a little different. So Wes has come out. Ethan was just causing a little bit of drama between Axiom and Nathan there. I hate the interruptions. I love Javon, but I do hate interruptions. It just kills what the people are trying to say, doesn't it? Like, Wes has come out and he's like saying stuff, and then like the whole thing's just ruined. Here's Javon, though. And again, he gets flipping interrupted. Just makes him look stupid. Can't you just wait for them to flip and finish? OTM have come out. What are they doing here? Ah, you're chasing singles gold and we ain't cool with it, right? We got a lot of tag team, big brawl. Tag division again have come out. This thing has turned into a brawl. Nathan goes over the top to the outside. So does Axiom. Yeah, big brawl. Big brawl. Big brawl. Let's go, Queens. Let's go, Queens. The fuse has been lit once again on NXT, said Vic Joseph. There's Brinley. There's Sol Ruka. There's Lola Vice. Stephanie Vacour. Is Ren Sinclair. All I've ever needed are these. Jada needs any weapon she can find. These fists don't lie. Okay, Lola Vice versus Ren Sinclair coming up next. There's too many baddies in NXT, said Ninja. Well, get in your votes. Get in your votes, my friends. What did you think of that first opening contest? It took up a quarter of the show. What did you think? What did you think? NXT Tag Team Title Ladder Match incoming soon, says James. You could be onto something there. They were chanting, "Who are you?" to Wes, said Nick. Were they? They were chanting, "Who are you?" because of his like slightly different look. He looked good, I thought. Daze, you should dress yourself as your dog as a sheep. Oh, dress the dog as a sheep to give the sheep a friend. Yeah, but I think it's still going to be concerned when it goes barking its head off at it. She, honestly, I had a right go at her earlier. It's not her fault because, you know, she's a dog. She doesn't want creatures coming close to our garden, of course, right? So when they come right up to the fence, like she has always barked her whole life, right? She's not bothered if they're a bit further back. She'll just go and have a look at them. But if they're right up by the fence, she'll go running down. They all bolt away. So this poor sheep flipping that's, you know, come a bit closer because of our sheep statues. Like, it's having to stay a little bit of a distance away because of her. And she went off running down, barking. I was like, here, get back here. And I just right go at her. She was probably very confused. She's like, oh, well, this has never been a problem before. Whoa, the game has changed. What's going on? You leave that sheep alone. That's my friend. There's a lot of confusion in the household at the moment. Christopher, shout out to you. I hope you're well. Hello, hello, hello. Once Upon a Deadpool is a funny Christmas movie, said Elizabeth. Yeah, I need to watch some sort of Christmas film this year, but I don't know what to watch. I want something that's genuinely funny. Actually, I might just search that. Funny Christmas films. Give me something funny. Oh, Spirited from 2022. It's got Will Ferrell in it. That might not be terrible. Spirited. Hot Frosty. Even the premise is ridiculous. When a woman puts a scarf on a ice sculpture, she accidentally brings it to life. The movie at least seems to be in on the joke. It's really funny and quite light and lovely. There's a lot of heart. That is coming to Netflix on November 13th. Oh, it's on Netflix now. It's called Hot Frosty. Okay. Nutcrackers. From the people that made Pineapple Express, Ben Stiller stars in a movie that's funny and heartwarming. He's a Chicago businessman who is unwillingly tasked with fostering his estranged sister's 4 unruly boys. That's on Hulu, November 29th. Elf, it's in it. Genie, don't know. National Lampoon, it's in it. Candy Cane Lane with Eddie Murphy. Jesus. A new Eddie Murphy film. Came out last year. Candy Cane Lane. It's an Amazon original. Metropolitan I've never seen. If you like your comedy to be witty rather than slapstick, then Metropolitan. It follows a group of young socialites gathering together for the holiday season. That's from 1990. Never even heard of it. Oh, yeah, I keep meaning to watch this. The Night Before. That's from 2015. I do keep meaning to watch that. That might be the one I go with. There's one from 1947. It happened on 5th Avenue. In this charmer of a movie, the comedy starts when a hobo decides to pose as a rich man. I mean, I'm probably not watching that. Bad Santa, Sin. Nice Guys, Christmas Story. Never seen a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. It's never really appealed, to be honest. Best Man Holiday. Bridget Jones's Diary, no thank you. Apartment? Heard of it. Didn't know it was a Christmas thing. The Apartment, 1960. Almost Christmas from 2016. Trading Places, that is a good film. Bad Moms Christmas. It's got Mila Kunis in, I like her. Probably still not watching it. Scrooged is a classic. Home Alone. Grumpy Old Men, do you remember that? Forgot about that. Just Friends, featuring Ryan Reynolds from 2005. Okay, well, there's a few options there, but we are back to NXT. Here's Nikita Lyons and Ashanti. There's Summit there. Just to be clear, you are interested because you did text me. Here's Carmen. Ashanti, you know where to find me. Round by the bins with the rest of the trash. That's what I would have said if I was Carmen. She didn't say it though. She's a better woman than me. Right, here's No Quarter Catch Crew then. Here is Ren Sinclair. 48, 35, 13, and 2. That gets a good 98%. Daze, just binge Hallmark Channel Christmas movies. Tommy's girlfriend loves them. Well. Well. I think we have that channel. I don't know, to be honest. I've never watched it, if we do. I think I get the feeling those films are very warm and homely and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I think I want something a little bit more high profile. Something where the quality control is maybe a little bit more strict. I'll probably end up watching The Night Before. I've never seen that, and that's one that I've always wanted to check out. But it does seem like there's a few that go straight to Netflix, straight to Amazon. That I could watch the Ben Stiller one. I forget what it was called now. Lola has made her way down. Have you seen Christmas Vacation? Yes, Tom. Yeah, it's a great film. I really like it, but it's an older film now as well, and I haven't seen it in a few years. So I could revisit that. I'm sure I've got it on DVD somewhere. Hallmark is all the same, it's just different actors, said Christopher. The Sheep That Was Alone. is a very heartwarming Christmas film. It's about a little sheep who was left in a field and adopted by a YouTube streamer, and the sheep goes on to be a megastar, says Kim Strange Knit Butcher. Oh my god, I hope that happens. I hope that's the end of the flipping story, because at the moment the sheep's flipping depressed and I'm worried that he's not going to make it. So if he goes on to be a megastar, that would be delightful. Against the ropes goes Lola. Roll through. She manages to grab the arm. Ren is down and she's in a bit of trouble here. She definitely doesn't want to give up this arm bar. She's trying to get out as Lola is pulling on the arm. Ren is desperately trying to bridge her way out of this. She manages to roll over though, which is good. Ah, mate, that was a nasty strike to the midsection. Ren gets suplexed. And again, she gets picked up, looking for another suplex. Yeah. Great work there. We're getting a bit of a Three Amigos. Where's the hot sauce? Says Booker. 1, 2, kick out by Ren. So right now it's all Lola Vice at the moment. Ren's a really good dance partner though. She's good at selling. She's good at playing whatever part she needs to, and she's good with her comebacks as well, which is exactly what we're starting to see. Lola down. And again, her arm being smashed into the ring. Ren grabbing on that arm. It's got like a Kimura that's been applied. So both women on their feet. Ren goes down. Love that. That was great. Head scissors applied to the head of Lola. Lola is trying to get out. She does. Some real graps going on here. Again, another head scissors applied. And she's managed to grab a hold of the arm. Lola in big trouble. Lola's actually getting outmaneuvered on the ground. Don't know what Lola's ground game's like, actually. We know she's good striking. She's obviously got lots of good kicks. But when the fight goes down to the ground, I genuinely don't know what her MMA style was. Nice knee coming in there to the midsection. Quick kicks. Another kick coming into the side. And again, but Ren catches. Clothesline. Lola goes down. Ren. Drop kick. Lola goes to the outside. She tries to get back into the ring. Ren back up on her feet. Going for a... Ooh, that was a weird clothesline. She kind of clotheslined her in the side of the head, and like Lola went down a little bit funny. I don't think they were quite on the same page there. She goes to the outside, grabs the arm of Lola. She's going to look to maybe stomp down. Yeah, look at Charlie giving advice. Charlie on the outside is like stomp, stomp. No Joy charging over, drop kick there by Ren. Lola goes head first into the ring steps. That was a hell of a drop kick. Charlie Dempsey is giving advice on the outside roll up by Ren. 1, 2. No Joy. No Joy. Ah! Spinning back fist. 1, 2, 3. Lola gets it. Spinning back fist does it. Lola gets it. Not a bad little match, honestly. Not a bad little match. You had some pretty good on the ground graps. And there was a couple of little spots in there that were enjoyable. Not a bad little match. Daze, what about a Christmas Karen? It's God Help Us All, the movie tagline. I've never heard of that. Is that a proper film? Undergrounds. NXT Undergrounds. So, what? It's going to be Lola against Jade Parker, NXT Undergrounds. Oh, there is. Let's go. Christmas Karen. Oh, there is a movie. Oh, when did that come out? 2022. It's on Amazon Prime. 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. Can we have a look at holiday films and scores? We're going to commercial break. Have they got holiday? I'd like to have a look at all the Christmas movies and how they've scored on Rotten Tomatoes. Can I do that? Genre. Let's have a look, shall we? No. Horror. Holiday. Yeah? Most popular. In theaters. Coming soon. At home. At home. And sort by. Want to look at fresh. WWE Speed. This is what I've got. So I only want to look at stuff that's at home, that is holiday, and is certified fresh. Well, that's not holiday, is it? What the hell is that? Don't feel like this has gone very well at all. I did just search for only holiday, didn't I? Oh, it's took my holiday off. Holiday. Why is that still there? Spirited got 70. I was quite interested in that. The Holdovers, 97%. The Holdovers. Hey, that Hot Frosty, 85%. We spoke about that. I'm interested in that. Look at that. There's good scores, aren't they? I'm going to write that down. Holdovers. And Hot Frosty. Right in there. And maybe Spirited. What else have we got? Is that an animated thing? Planes, Trains, Automobile. That is a great film. These look like they're pretty OG things. 8-Bit Christmas. I've never seen that. 8-Bit Christmas. That could be good. Night Before. Oh, only 68% for Night Before. I thought that would be better, actually. I thought that would be better. Happy Christmas, Miracle on 34. I don't want any old films. No. No. Old. These are all old. I think I might have found all I'm looking for, really. No. Oh, what's that? No. Doesn't look very good. No, 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 no. No. Well, I mean, look, there's options. But to be honest, that has caught my attention because of the score. That was one I was interested in anyway, and that's not bad. That's good, 80% by the audience. But they didn't like that, though, did they? Hot Frosty didn't get a great score. Yeah, I'm probably torn between these two. What do we know about the Holdovers, then? What is it? I don't know the story, what happens. From acclaimed director Alexander Payne, The Holdovers follows a curmudgeonal instructor prep school forced to remain on campus. Oh, a teacher has to stay on campus during Christmas to babysit a handful of students with nowhere to go. He informs an unlikely Bond, damaged brainy troublemaker. Okay. I could vibe with that. I could vibe with that. White Christmas featuring Lana Rhodes is an option. Daze, what about Home Alone 1 and 2? They've got to be the best Christmas films. I watched The Night Before last year. That was great. Oh, did you? And so is Office Christmas Party. I don't think I've seen Office Christmas Party. Office Christmas Party. Oh, 2016. Okay, yeah, that looks all right. Scores aren't great, though. That suggests that you don't know quality Christmas films. Because the people that went to watch it don't agree. And also the critics don't agree. So I'm sorry to tell you that, WrestleLand, you don't know anything about films, I'm afraid. It's breaking news. Hey, here's Tatum Paxley. Okay, here is Fatal Influence. You'll never be a champion. You freak. Yeah, you freak. They threw a doll down. Oh, she could have picked that doll up. Oh, someone's picked it up. Who was that? Who's got a tattoo there? Who was that? Gigi. Could it have been Gigi? She's got tattoos. Could it have been Gigi Dolan? Here is Shawn Spears. Here is the chairman. So this is going to be against Tony D, is it not? Shawn Spears coming out with the mask. None of this fits together. I mean, this mask makes him seem like some sort of, like, mystery demon type character, which just does not fit his presentation whatsoever. None of this fits together. Nothing says mysterious character with like spooky writing on the wall and like a red mask, and he takes it off and he's like, "You all right, everyone? Everyone doing okay?" Here's Tony and the Riz. Let's go, the Riz. So we need to get the scores for the last match because we are on our way towards our next match. Lola versus Ren. What did people think? Hey, did you enjoy it? Let's go. Let's go, Tony. Let's go, Tony. Countdown to Survivor Series starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. That means it's 9 p.m. UK time, which means I need to start at about 7. What time? I don't know what time that stream is set up for. Is it 7? I'm going to look now. I've not even set it up because I'm a legend. I am a legend. I don't know if I'm coming or going, and I thought I'd already set it up. Well, I can confirm that it will be set up for about 7-ish UK time. 2 p.m. Eastern. Right, Mike Rome. North American Championship on the line as Tony D, the son of Sonny D, takes on Shawn Spears, who is looking at that championship. He would love to have that around his waist. Has anyone ever heard about the Sinbad Shazam movie, said Corey. No, I haven't. Will Tony lose the title tonight, said William. I don't think so, but we can certainly ask the people what they think. Who wins? Tony, or will it be Shawn Spears? Daze, if you like nostalgia, the 8-bit Christmas film, it's about a set in 1980s when Christmas brought out Nintendo. A new Nintendo. It's really good. Okay, thank you. I'll look at the score on that. 8-bit Christmas. I think it got an all right score because we just saw it, didn't we? Yeah, 84% from the critics, 75% from the public. I could watch that. I could watch that. Well, looks like there are certainly some options this year. Daze, are you ready for the boxing stream on Thursday with notes? Have you got notes for Survivor Series? I don't need notes for Survivor Series. It's all up there. Notes for thing. Yeah, do you want to know the truth though? I've watched a few videos of people sort of previewing the event, and I've really come to realise there is a massive gap. If someone wanted to create a channel where you really went in depth on the skills and the attributes of influencer boxers, I think you would have a good channel, because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. If you go and watch like breakdowns, they always talk about, oh, this person's feuding with this person, you know, they've been beefing online, you know, such and such brings some power, but you know, I think such and such is going to be able to get past that, you know. I really think that the such and such has got like some good confidence going into it. Like, that is about all you get from like these breakdown videos of people that know the scene. I think if there was someone that was like talking about like the best shots that people have, cardio, talking about footwork, like, you know, really digging into the skill set of each fighter, really kind of explaining what they bring to the table, paths to victory, things, weaknesses, things that they need to be careful of. I think there's a massive gap, because that channel, those videos, they do not exist. They do not exist. So if I had time, I'd do it myself, because that's an easy win. It's an easy win. So those videos don't exist. So I've just watched a lot of waffle, to be honest. Just a lot of people like waffling away about like not actual attributes, but just, you know, I think this is going to be a close fight. You know, both are about the same size. We've seen them both like can go 3-4 rounds in the past, so should be a case that, you know, there's a bit of durability there, but it's just not. My note, I mean, like, I've got notes, but for a lot of them, there just ain't much there, so gonna have to do a bit of winging it, to be honest. There's gonna be a bit of, don't really know here what to expect, and just some main event, co-main event, top end of the cards. There's stuff I could find, but those first early matches, no one's really talking about them, so. No, I don't have much. There is a large conspiracy theory about the Sinbad Shazam movie, said Corey. I saw it as a kid. Many people say they did, but there is no record of the movie. All right. Who's on Misfits on Thursday? Well, the main event is Anderson Gibb against Slim. So Gibb is someone that has done very well and won a lot of fights in other promotions. I don't know that he's fought in Misfits before. I think he did fight Jake and lost, but I don't think he's fought in Misfits. He's not on great terms with KSI, although there are a few rumors they're actually secretly quite good friends, but they're saying they're not. And so KSI really wants Slim to win. Otherwise, if Gibb wins, you know, it's not going to be a good look for Misfits, really. Because Gibb said, I'm going to beat the best they've got and I'm going to leave. Because there's just no challenges here. And KSI's like, no, there is. There's some really good fighters here. And Gibb's like, there isn't. I'm going to beat the best you've got and then I'm going to go. So it's kind of an interesting premise, that, actually. It's kind of an interesting, like, oh, that's interesting. If he does beat one of their best fighters and then just leaves, you know, how that is going to not be a great look for Misfits. So I sort of like what they're doing and building with that main event. It's kind of an interesting little story to it. And then Salt Poppy against King Kenny is genuinely two of the best fighters they've got going against each other. That's a fight people have wanted to see. That's the co-main. Nice big suplex there by Tony. So yeah, Thursday we're going to be doing that. Should be all right, honestly. This tag team brawl on the outside in the parking lot. It is absolute carnage. Shawn Michaels is going to have to do something here. Ava is going to have to do something. Shawn Spears then in this championship fight. 82% of you think that Tony is going to retain. 17% of you think that it will be Shawn Spears. Belly to belly. Shawn Spears is down, so it seems like you lot are unanimously, pretty much unanimously. Oh, a slip there by Tony. Oh my God. I don't know if that was a botch. As he ran, I don't know that it was. As he ran over, his knee buckled. He went down, and now Shawn Spears has put a figure four leg lock on. Figure four leg lock by Shawn Spears. Tony in big trouble, man. Tony in big trouble. Shawn Spears has got this figure four applied. And he is definitely feeling it. 1, 2, shoulder up. Shoulder up. Shoulder up there by Tony. Tony trying to make his way over to the ropes. Trying to crawl his way over. He's reaching for the ropes. And again, trying to get his arm out. Referee is right there. Tony is going to get to the ropes, and he does. Tony gets to the ropes. Referee comes in, breaks it up. Tony grabs the rope, said Ninja. Ghostbusters is a great Christmas film. The Marshmallow Man's amazing. That is true. When you first see him and he's like walking down the street, that is so cool. Blew my mind as a kid. The effects on that were like so good. I actually had the toy. It wasn't that big, to be honest. It was only about that big. I mean, it was still a decent size, but like, because the figures were like this, you know. But yeah, that was so good. Shoulder up. I bet you can get like really big marshmallow men now. Spear there by Tony. So Tony in control. Did you like when Jeff played Willow, said Christopher? That was kind of outside of WWE, wasn't it? So it's outside of my field of vision. Against the ropes goes Shawn. No, went for that inverted atomic drop, but he couldn't do it. Kicks coming in by Shawn. Shawn grabbing Tony. Reversal. Shawn rolling up Tony. 1, 2. No. Reversal by Tony. 2. Ah. Back on the feet. Going up. Boom. Spinebuster by Tony. 1, 2, 3. Wow. He got it from a spinebuster. He got it from a spinebuster. Wow. Tony retains. Really, the fact that he got it from like a spinebuster is quite a surprise. It didn't seem to take loads. Some back and forth, some not bad moments, but Brooks Jensen gets him. Tony is having to deal with, who's this? Oh, that guy. Do you remember he was in the car, the driver? Nico. Nico is here. Nico, Brooks, and Shawn Spears. Why are they sparing at the Riz? Okay, we're backstage with Kelani. Okay, coming up next, Kelani takes on Giulia. There's Giulia. There is Giulia. Oh, they're still brawling in the parking lot. Oof, dude just got hurled on the top of a car. Oh, dude just got thrown into a car. Oh my God, this has gone quite far. They've wrecked that car. There's dents all in the side. Into the shutter. There's Joe Coffey. Gallus in control. Boom! Straight onto the windscreen. This car is getting... I don't know whose car this is, but this is going to be gutting. It's going to be gutting. Look, we got Robert Stone out there. Stevie Turner. Dude, it was like that scene in Street Fighter where you have to destroy the car in like 30 seconds. We had dents in the side. The back window was done. The windscreen was done. Crazy. Oh no, the car park is going to claim another victim. Matter, hello. Spartan said that car is destroyed. Have you seen the Willow character? Yeah, I've seen an image. I mean, I've never seen like a match or anything. Please be Robert Stone's car, said James. I want it to be The Rock's car. I want The Rock to have been there visiting Ava. Or it could be Vince's car. And he comes out and he's like, oh my God, can things get any worse? Daze, what's the one Christmas movie that people rave about that you've not seen? Mine is It's a Wonderful Life. Well, I'd have to be the same. I've not seen that either. I've also only seen bits of A Christmas Story rather than the whole film. So I would say A Christmas Story and It's a Wonderful Life. Never get caught in the NXT parking lot, says Mr. B. Do you know, I've been in the NXT parking lot and I survived. When I went to Florida in 2018, because I went in 2018 and then I went obviously earlier this year, and I wanted to just go and visit the performance center because honestly, it wasn't where they were filming NXT at the time. And we hadn't done WrestleMania there because obviously that's 2020 with the pandemic. This was the end of 2018. And we find it and we kind of drive past it. And on the window, you can see a WWE logo on the glass door. And underneath, there's a sign quite big that said trespassers will be prosecuted. So that was it. So that was it. I was going to see if I could get a picture by the door or something. I mean, you can understand them not wanting people to do that. So I did get it. I kind of thought as we were going, like, this is probably one that I maybe shouldn't be doing. This is maybe one where I'm going a little too far, a little bit stalkery. But I wasn't stalking any wrestlers. I just wanted my picture took by the performance center. And, but that didn't happen. So there is no picture. I got the message. You know, I got the message, and it's very understandable. Probably a lot easier now, actually, though. Go along on a Tuesday when they do NXT. Probably, you know, even if you haven't got a ticket, you can probably get close enough to get a picture. So, different rules now. But, yeah, I survived. The only Christmas movies I watch are Home Alone and Nightmare Before Christmas, says Spartan. Daze needs a I Survived the NXT car park t-shirt. They should sell them anyway, to be honest. Jade fell on a car. She hit her head on a window and called it a night. No one attacked her. Jade. It was herself all along, said Ninja. That's going to be a hell of a match at WrestleMania then. Just her in the ring, just throwing shots at herself. Jade Cargill versus Jade Cargill. Jay said those are generally just suggestions. We don't listen to no trespassing signs. Well, I'm a good boy and I did. And I think going, I sort of knew I shouldn't be doing it. But I thought, you know. My all-time favourite Christmas film is Jim Carrey's The Grinch. Honourable mention would be Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, said Jadam. I've never even heard of that film. It sounds like a snuff movie. Nathan said, every December I watch Lord of the Rings and the Star Wars films. Oh. I tried to do that a few years ago and I just couldn't. The first film's a little slow to get going, and like, yeah. Oh no, what's this? Here we go, Andre Chase. So he's got a box with all the Chase U bits in. Teachable moments. Posters, t-shirts, a towel. #1 Professor Andre Chase. Do you remember he had a gambling problem which got the university in big trouble, and so they did the calendar? Isn't it funny that that same gambling problem has resulted in the end of Chase U eventually? So he's packing all this stuff away. He's leaving his office. He looks at the classroom. The door closes. There's an Andre Chase sign. And he's not taking that. He's leaving that. He walks down the corridor. Oh. Hey, Mr. Chase. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. Hey, Mr. Chase. Turned around. I reckon it was one of his students, and for a laugh, they got their dong out. So he turned around, and like just there was like this naked dude, and he was like, whoa. They want you to think that it's going to set something up. They want you to think that it's going somewhere, but actually it's just a guy with his dong out. And he might even be doing the helicopter, to be honest. He might be doing the helicopter. I can't confirm that. That's how I've read the situation. Oh, she didn't do the thing, did she? She went like that. And then she stopped. Doesn't she normally go? Here's Giulia. Oh my God, here's Giulia. Have you seen Sweet Home Alone, the UK version of Home Alone? No, there's a UK version of Home Alone. Are you sure? Giulia! This match is gonna bang. Mate, if you only watch one match on this show, it needs to be this. Love the Bearded said, lucky I can't do the helicopter. I know how you feel. I don't even have a penis. Tatum said, I heard a few years ago they were remaking Last Starfighter, but nothing since. Perhaps that's a good thing. It would just ruin it. That's what DX used to do, said Tom. Perhaps it was. Perhaps that was the voice of Shawn Michaels, and when he turned around, there was a naked Triple H, a naked Shawn Michaels, and a naked Hornswoggle. All three of them doing the helicopter. I need you to picture that mentally in your head right now. I need you to picture all three of them in a corridor, naked, old boomer men, right? Old, wrinkly, it's quite cold, and they're all helicoptering. If you just take one thing from this stream, I would love for it to be that. Lovely work there by Kelani. Kalani working on the arm of Giulia. Oh, pulling down on the arm. Again, round the back goes Giulia. Kalani reversing. She gets round the back of Giulia and takes her over. Nice. She's down. Against ropes goes Kalani. Cross body. Lands on Giulia. Giulia kicks out. Kalani grabs the head. Nice reversal there by Giulia. It's going to be lots of that going on here. Lots of quick grabs, quick reversals. Let's end this poll. Back to the chopper. Yes. Nice takeover. Headlock takeover there by Giulia. Giulia now looking for the crucifix pin. And no joy. Reversed by Kalani, 2 count. She reverses. Another quick reversal. To be honest, I'm never a fan of like these pin attempts early in a match because they ain't gonna get them. It doesn't really carry much. Doesn't really carry much doubt or. Little bit different than in Japan, says Booker. Handshake coming in. Okay, nice little handshake. Look, Giulia's like, yeah. Oh, Kalani tricked her. It's very nice. Against ropes goes Giulia. Kalani goes through the ropes. She went for that arm drag. No joy. Lovely. Head scissor takeover by Giulia. Grabbing the arm. Nice. Going for the armbar. Pulling back on the arm. Let's go. Smile on the face of Giulia. She's laughing. That's right. That's right. Keeping Kalani grounded. Working on the arm. Kalani trying to find a way out of this. Couple of little elbows in there as well by Giulia. Love that. I always love that. You know when they like stretch out and they get the right in the side. I always love when they do that as well. Ooh, she went down hard. Kalani absolutely smashing face first. Giulia charging against the ropes. Back elbow there by Kalani. Kalani with Giulia. What's she doing? She's got her hair. I tell you what, Kalani has been quite heelish here. The handshake that she didn't really, like, she wasn't very respectful with. And then she's grabbing some hair. What's Kalani doing? I'm seeing a turn here. I'm seeing a turn. She's going up. Split leg. No. She was going for that split leg moonsault, but no joy. This dude in the crowd dressed as King Booker. And it's not Booker. Right now, we have got Kalani in the corner. Giulia grabs her and then drags her out the ring. Giulia on the edge of the ring. Charges over. Ooh, tries to stomp down. Kalani moves. Kalani against the ropes. Duck underneath by Giulia. Ah, no. Ah! Giulia and Kalani are face to face in the middle of the ring. Is there a bit of blood? I think there's a bit of blood on the nose of Kalani. It is a little odd. Kalani being a bit heelish, said Tom. Look up Home Sweet Home Alone. It's a UK kid playing the part. It makes it part 5. Home Sweet Home Alone. Home Sweet Home Alone. Home Sweet Home Alone came out 2021. It's got an amazing 15% score on Rotten Tomatoes, 35% on Metacritic. It says it's an American Christmas comedy. Maybe the kid is English, British, don't know. But it is an American film. And it came out in 2021 and it is on Disney Plus if you want to watch it. And it looks awful. Just from the scores, it looks awful. Yeah, the main guy is called Archie Yates. He is a British teen actor. He was in Jojo Rabbit in 2019 and he was in Home Sweet Home Alone. And that was the last film he did. Perhaps it was that awful it killed his career. Don't know, can't say. But the score's not very good. Daze, I hope the Outrunners go to WWE when they're done with AEW. You would love those guys. I've seen one of their video packages and you are absolutely correct, Hannah. I do love what I see from them, yes. I've never seen a match of theirs, but I know there's a lot of AEW fans that are quite hyped for them, and I think I would be in that group, yes. Chris said, shout out Daze, nearly 7 years subscribed now. It's the best watch along going. Let's go, Daze. Chris, shout out to you, my friend. 7 years. Channel's only been here for 8. So we could look at it as really positive that you've been here for 7 years and you've stuck with the channel. Or we could look at it as you weren't around for that first year and that's actually quite disrespectful. I think I'm going to go with the disrespectful one, to be honest. Rather than praising you and like all of that appreciation, questions need to be asked as to why you wasn't here in 2016. Yeah? Because I was still putting out content and working really hard, but you chose to ignore it. Strikes me as a bit rude, if I'm being honest, right? There's not many streamers that would berate someone that has shown them like 7 years of support. But I'm cut from a very different cloth. So, yeah. Do better. That's what I'm going to say. Try harder. Do better. Yeah. Chris said, wow, 15%. That's not good. That guy died after making the move. He died! No, he didn't. Shut up. He didn't actually die, did he? Because if he did actually die, then I'm going to feel really bad. He's not dead. Oh, he's not dead. Well, at least it doesn't say he's dead. It's said that he's not dead. Oh. You mean his career died? Got you. Okay. God, I thought I'd missed the detail then. I felt really bad. You know, there's me going, oh, his career's dead. And it's like, no, he actually died. Oh, my God. Honestly, you lot hold me to such high regards. That would be really damaging to my reputation if I'd have made that mistake. But thankfully, I didn't. So on we go. Right, and on we go we do, actually, because it is Giulia versus Kelani. And right now, Kelani with a cartwheel, looking for a back elbow, no joy. Roll up there by Giulia. Oh, that felt like a 3. 1, 2, no. Quick reversal there by Kelani. Oh, back elbow. Giulia goes back to the corner. Kip up there by Kelani. Kelani on her feet, charging over, drop kick. Giulia goes back into the corner. Kelani charging over, big boot there by Giulia. Kelani is going up, kick coming in there by Kelani. Coach Co said he will be someday dead. Jen find don't still do be. Jen find don't still do be. Coach Co, I hope you're well, mate. It's a really good point. He will be dead at some point. But let's just hope that it's not this week. Headbutt there by Giulia. Kelani goes down. Giulia is going up. She is perched. Giulia. Here we go. Ooh, I don't even know what she was going for. I think she was going for like a missile drop kick, but she didn't really seem to commit to it. Split leg, moonsault. Oh my God, straight into a triangle. Split leg moonsault, straight into a triangle, straight into an armbar. Giulia has got Kelani. Look at this. Look at this. Triangle applied. Don't see triangles in pro wrestling that much. Look at this. Giulia has got Kelani. Gritted teeth to Kelani was going for the pin, but no joy. Kelani might fade here. Kelani might fade. She's got her hands around the back of her head as well to apply that extra pressure. Kelani seems to be in trouble, but she's going to try and get up. And the escape is to slam Giulia down, and she does. It breaks the hold too. Kick out by Giulia. Kick out by Giulia. Yeah, both of these women are really giving their all. Roxanne is watching backstage. Roxanne, the champ, staring at her championship. That championship is safe for a little while. I don't even know if she's defending it, actually, at Deadline. I don't think she is she? Have we got a match card for Deadline? It's still a few... Well, it's not that far away, I don't think. I'm going to say a few weeks, but I don't even know if it's that far. NXT Deadline. We've got Trick Williams against Ridge. And we got the 2 Iron Survivor Challenge matches. Kick coming in there by Kelani. Sign in the crowd says beautiful madness as Giulia gets round the back. Oh, love this! Love this! Love this! A driver! Oh, reversed too! Oh, mate! That driver was sick from Giulia. Big knee! A G trigger. Right now, she is looking to pick her up. Slam her down! Lovely work by Giulia. That should do it. And it does. Yes. Giulia gets the win. Gets a big win. She goes into the Iron Survivor Challenge. She beats one of NXT's best. Certainly at this level. Former champion. Women's North American champion. A match that was full of back and forth action, but it is Giulia that emerges victorious. Excellent work, Kings. Giulia! Giulia stands in the middle of the ring, her arms outstretched. What a match! This is going to be Giulia, Zarya, Stephanie Vicor, Sol Ruka. We need one more person to be added. Last chance fatal 4-way next week. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Tag champs being spoken to by Ava. Okay, Axiom's going to get another chance. Oh, hello. Oh, here's that new boomer from Noah. Oh, God. Ava, don't walk away. The tag teams are fighting. Oh, my God. Ava's gone down. Oh my God, well, she didn't deal with the tag team situation. And now they've started fighting, knocked into the door. That's knocked into her. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is what happens when you don't deal with situations. Yeah? What happens is the NXT car park comes indoors. That's what happens. Now she's on the floor. And that was probably a car earlier that's been trashed. Ugh. Drama. Call the final boss. Yeah. That's true, actually. Doesn't Eddie Thorpe know who her dad is? Pebble bump, said Matter. Oh my God, Pebble is down. Pebble is down. Ava got knocked out, said Big Time. Daze, what's your favourite place, best food in the UK? I'm going to fly there when WWE is on tour. Christopher, shout out to you, my friend. Favourite place for food in the UK? Well, famously, we're known for our world-famous food. To be honest, the UK has got some really great places to eat. The truth is that I think if you're out and about and you want a snack, that's where it can be a bit limited. You know, it's fast food, it's McDonald's, it's Burger King, it's KFC, right? We've got Greg's, but Greg's is really interesting because if you ask British people, they're like, oh, I love Greg's. Yeah, sausage roll and all that. But to be perfectly truthful, if you're an American visitor or a visitor from any country, I don't think you're going to go to Greg's and have your mind blown. Do you know what I mean? I think part of the appeal of Greg's is it's honest food at a decent price, right? And if you're a worker that goes to work and you just want a cheap lunch, you know, you got like £5 if you've got £5 in your pocket, you're going to get a fair few items from Greg's. You might get a sausage roll, you might get like some sort of a steak bake, you know. I've shown a picture of Greg's before. I can show a picture again of the kind of stuff that they sell at Greg's. But that is not a place that I would massively recommend that, oh yeah, go out your way to get to Greg's, you know. They sell this kind of stuff, you know, a sausage roll. I'm sure you know what a sausage roll is. I'm trying to find like a steak bake or something. That's kind of what the counter looks like. These kind of pastry items that normally have like gravy and steak, bits of steak in. That might be in that one. There's one that's got like baked beans and cheese in the middle, which is actually quite nice. There'll be another one that might be like a vegetable option. One has got like bits of chicken and like a nice chicken sauce in there as well. So, I mean, the problem with them is that normally you buy them and they look great, but normally they're cold. Greg's, they don't keep their food very warm. I think there's like a health and safety thing to it. So they don't keep it very warm. So they look nice and you buy them, 9 times out of 10, they're quite cold. Not the inside. Inside's still all right. The inside is piping hot so it stays hot. But overall, it's... So I don't know. Greg's is one of those that people will be like, oh, Greg's, it's amazing. But I don't know. I don't think it's as great as people make out, to be honest. I'm not as crazy about it as other people, let's put it that way. But listen, if you need something for lunch, it's where a lot of people go to just pick something up, you know. So actually, like, Nando's is probably... I mean, Nando's, you know, you can get some decent chicken there. Even Nando's, I think, is blown out of proportion. People make out like it's something mind-blowing. I don't think it's that good. Hey, look, here's Ava. Oh, my God, Shawn is checking on Ava. Dude, Shawn! Shawn, oh, my God! Shawn has just pushed Eddie Thorpe back up against the shutter. Dude! Dude! Ava's down. Shawn getting physical? Dude! Dudes! Da 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 da. Yes, the king has arrived. Trick Williams. Mate, if he ever comes out at the Royal Rumble, I'm pretty sure I'm going to explode. Imagine that. Flipping gets like, I don't know, number 22 and it's... I'll have my tiny dance ready. Medical is checking on Ava right now. But I'm sure she'll be okay. Dude, what if she dies? We know who her bloodline is. We know who her bloodline is. Yeah, Eddie Thorpe, you effed up, mate. you have done. We might have seen the end of Chase U. We did. It's over. We've already mourned. It was sad. I saw kids crying. No, that was someone... that was someone from the PC trick. We found out that they worked for WWE. That wasn't a kid. I saw Ridge's face. He was proud of what he did. You and me ain't the same. You preach. DIY gets a mention. People like Bron Breakker, Tiffany Stratton, Ilya Dragunov. Even people like... Oh, there's loads. There's loads, Trick. Carmelo Hayes. Didn't need to mention him, Trick. Could have gone Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Bayley, Charlotte. Flipping, there's loads. We've built something special. I hate those jeans. I also think they're probably quite expensive. I would not doubt that they're like a couple of $100, but I hate them. They look rubbish. Black and silver. The black and silver era. Check. Check, check, check. Don't touch me. Refs have come out. Here's Ridge. He looks great, Ridge, in all fairness, size-wise. You know, size-wise, he looks good. Oh, Eric Bischoff! Dudes! Eric Bischoff is on the Titantron. Easy. I want to get a closer look next week. I'm coming to NXT. Yes! What makes both you guys tick? You guys are going to want to destroy each other at Deadline. See you next week. Yeah, man. Eric Bischoff on the show next week. Do you know what? If I was WWE and I was really petty, I would have saved that for a week where we go head-to-head with Dynamite, because it's quite famous that Eric Bischoff does not like Tony Khan. And so if I wanted to play some dirty mind games, I could have saved it. If anything, it just shows how big they are, that they're just doing it on a normal week, to be honest. Right, Fallon, Henley, Tatum, Paxley, the North American Championship is going to be our main event. Tell your friends. NXT is wildin', said James. I feel like I'm in a dream world, said Suzanne. EC dub, dub C dub, dub C dub, dub C dub. Metal Mama said, I'm so glad I got to watch tonight. Welcome. Days, if you was a wrestler, you would be Hendry due to dancing and singing. No, because I wouldn't bring that. I'd actually be really dark and moody, much like I am 90% on the streams. I would be in the Wyatt Six, but not as a character, just as myself in the background. They'd be all like this, and I'd just copy them. So you'd have Nikki like, and then the camera pan to me, and I'd be like, like that. It might take a little bit away from the aura, I'm not sure, or it might add to it. I don't know. Tatum versus Fallon. I was trying to think who's the boomer that's got the belt. It's Fallon in it. The cowgirl. Eric was in TNA, said Kader. The sick days, yeah. Oh my god, imagine that. Imagine you get the Wyatt Six and then in the background there's me in bed going, Jesus God. Oh god, I feel so cold. I've never been this ill in ages. Oh my god. Can someone turn the lights? Has anyone got any paracetamol? Like that. And they'll be like, I don't think you understand the gimmick. And I was like, aren't we all sick? We're all sick, aren't we? And then I'd probably get kicked out of the group, to be honest. Who lit a fire up NXT's buttocks tonight? Oh my god, is that where you put fires big time? Really? First 30 minutes was kind of... Then multiple talking points happening across the show. Yeah, that's true. The Shawn Michaels push. Ava going down. The Shawn Michaels push. Great match with Giulia. Eric arrives. It's true. It is true. Car got destroyed. It is true. Have you seen 8 Crazy Nights with Adam Sandler? No. 8 Crazy. Wow. You think I'm dealing with films that get 13% on Rotten Tomatoes? Do you know how precious my time is? Yeah? 13%. That's from 109 critic reviews. There aren't enough creative Yiddish insults in the world to adequately express how much I hate Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights, says world-renowned critic Matthew Rosa, who works for Salon.com. And that's where I get all my reviews from, is Salon.com. The film might have been funny if it wasn't so poorly executed and fixated on bodily functions. Trying to find like a good review. What's this person say? This is a cinematic masterpiece. Here we go. I don't know why people hate this movie so much, but it is one of the best movies ever made. And if you say you don't, you are a liar or you haven't seen it. 5 out of 5. And that is from Mitchell in Florida. It gets 1 star purely for the animation. Clearly the animators worked very hard on this. It's a shame the writing team didn't meet the same standards. Mitchell, people are down on it. This is where you have to now say I saw it and it sucked. That's what you have to say now. Yeah, no, I didn't like it. I just wondered if you'd seen it because it's a bad film. Okay, here's Tavian and Miles. Next week. Ren is in the Last Chance Fatal 4-Way. You've got this, Ren. Ren's doubting herself. She's like, how am I meant to win? So Jada against Ren against Cora against Kelani. Who wins that? Well, I feel like Jada and Lola are going to be having a match. So it's going to come down to Kelani. It won't be Ren. I don't think it'll be Ren. Eddie Thorpe. He's lucky to be in it. Lexis King, Axiom, and Cedric Alexander. One of them goes through. Will it be Axiom? Is that how he finds his way into the match? Hard to leave Lexis King out. Then we've got a Battle Royal. So, NXT Tag Team Championship #1 contenders Battle Royal. The winning team will challenge Axiom and Nathan Frazier at Deadline. X-Pac! Hey Shawn, next week's NXT show looks too good to miss. I'm coming to Orlando to watch it live. The real X-Pac! Ah! Ah! And he had a Razor Ramon shirt on that said, like, Razor Ramon, Scott Hall forever. Here's Tatum. Here is Tatum. What's that? I've never heard that music for her. Is this new music for her? Sounds a bit rubbish. Don't like it, mate. Doesn't really fit her gimmick, that music. Shouldn't it be something a bit spooky? Nothing really spooky about that. Here's Fallon. Fatal Influences theme fits them well, said Brony. Yeah, I can vibe with this one. Well, I don't really vibe with it, but yes, I agree it fits well. Yeah, everyone's talking about Eddie Thorpe. I want to see Fatal Influence versus Pure Fusion Collective, and here pops louder than CM Punk's return, said Dominic. Bring back Toxic Attraction. That's going to be hard to do without one of the members. WWE going back to the Stone Ages. What with all the old has-beens appearing? Bischoff, X-Pac. Who next? Road Dogg. Oh my God. Imagine if we got Road Dogg. And then we had Triple H come down. We could have a DX reunion. And we could bring China back from the dead. Or get that cosplayer that looks like China. Okay, how long we got left? We've only got 13 mins. I like this tweet. They harmed our glorious Ava. Everyone must die. Ava down! Ava down! Oh my God. It was scenes. It was scenes. I love Fatal Influence, said AB. Here we go then. Both women are locking up. This is our main event of the evening. What if Mandy has an OnlyFans? If she is not promoting it on WWE programming, then bring her back. Now, WWE don't want that because of it being like PG. It's PG products, and they don't want one of their superstars that they're building up, promoting, being out there, having all their boobs out and whatnot. I don't actually know how far she goes, but there was a video that sort of did the rounds of her in a swimming pool, and you could see she was topless. I don't know if that was the video that took things too far for WWE. Don't know. Because, I mean, there's a lot of women in WWE that put out, you know, cheeky shots on Instagram, whatever, but I think that Mandy went too far. Whoa! Look at that by Tatum. Cartwheel. Back elbow there by Fallon. I feel like NXT needs to get more people in the PC. Add 2-3 rows. I agree. It looks like there's not a lot of people in there. I agree. It does need a bit more height to it. That means you'd need to move everything over. I think you can do it because there's not really much this side. So I think you could do that, but I agree. It's just not quite big enough. Just not quite big enough. Right now, Tatum is down. She's got her shoulders down. She bridges up, flips round. Nice. Pinning and bridging, but that was a stupid bridge because she bridged over, but that didn't make any sense. She bridged over, which then meant that Fallon's legs were free to use as momentum to kick out. Silly Billy. Fatal Influence is what PFC could be, said AB Jobson. Hannah, shout out to you. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving over here, but I hope you have a good one. You've got to remember that I'm British and we have literally nothing to be thankful for. Kick there by Fallon. Tatum goes down. I did like Tatum's face then as she was being berated. She looked so sad. Good facial expressions. Corey said, I've got an OnlyFans. It's just a video of me turning fans on and off and then adjusting the speed. Well, do you know what, Corey? I could totally believe that there are some pervs that would actually enjoy that. Pretty much anything like that is, you know, probably got an audience. Metal Mama said, would you ever do a game night with the community? There's lots of virtual games like board games that you can play for free and you can connect to the chat for us to interact with. I'm just wondering. Well, it's not on my to-do list. Doesn't really fit with the channel. But, I don't know. I'd say never, but I can't say it's high on the agenda. Or actually on the agenda at all until you just mentioned it. I don't mind board games though. I really got into them a few years ago because a few years ago I played Cluedo and it absolutely sucked. And it was just not you call it Clue in America, right? It's actually called Cluedo. But we played it and I really didn't enjoy it. And I was like, there's got to be better board games than this. So I really looked into board games and I've got Catan and a few other like games that I actually really enjoyed. If you've never played Catan, it's a good little game. It's a really fun game. I would really recommend it. Sold millions and millions of copies. I mean, I'd imagine most people do know of it, but I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? A lot of people might not ever look into the board game world to see what you can get. A lot of people just buy Monopoly and that's it. They buy Monopoly and that's all they'll ever need. But there are some really fun games out there. I've never played Ticket to Ride, but I hear it's good. There is a really good war game, which is called Undaunted. And it's very interesting the way that it works. That's a good game. It's like a 2-player game, though. But it's like your army against another army, and you can only move the people that you've got the cards for. So you've got a deck of cards, and you shuffle them, and then you give yourself 5 cards, and you have a look. And it's only those 5 people that you can move. And it tells you, like, your options on each card, and you have to pick one. So you're always limited to the cards in your deck. And you can choose to move a person, or instead you might want to add another card to your deck, which of course will give you another option in the game. But then you are missing a turn. It's quite good. Or you could choose to shoot if you're close enough. And the amount of damage you cause is dictated by the dice, I think, that you roll. So there's like chance in there as well. It's a good game. If you're looking for something that's quite easy to learn. 2-player, little war thing, little war game. Any of the Undaunteds is worth a look at. Family game, I'd say Catan. What else have we played? I have got Wingspan, which is alright. It's all right. I'm not crazy about it. It was like topping a load of poles, so I was like, I'll give it a go, but it's about birds. Big chop coming in there by Fallon. I've got a Supernatural Monopoly board game, said Kian. Wordle is pretty popular, said AB Jobson. Is there a WWE Monopoly? There must be. There must be. I mean, I can't think of one, but then I don't really look for monopolies. If you've all monopolies are the same. Oh yeah, there was actually. I think I saw the other day there was a monopoly that was it's moves. I think it's moves that you collect. You know, instead of like, well, I don't know what they are in America. Over here, it's like Regent Street, Fleet Street, Mayfair, Old Kent Road. It's all the places in London. The British one is just all London places. Trafalgar Square, Piccadilly Circus, that kind of stuff. Both women on their feet. Monopoly is a classic boomer game. Yep. Hungry Hippos. Hungry Hippos is fourth player. It's under 12. I was the fourth best player under 12 in 1988. Was you? At Hungry Hippos. That's quite a brag. They both cross body at the same time. I've got a Monopoly that's based on my hometown, Hammond, Indiana. It's called Hammondopoly. Very good. Okay, both women are down. I heavily dislike how they use the save titles for the women. Change it up. Make titles new, said Ninja. Mitchell said there's a wrestling board game coming out called All Time Wrestling that you should look up. All Time Wrestling. Big kick coming in there by Tatum. Big boot coming back there by Fallon. Oh, these two. Oh, my God. She hit her so hard in the midsection there. Here we go. Fallon charging over. Back elbow by Tatum. Fallon, little bit wobbly. She's managed to get a bit of composure back. She charges over, goes for a kick, no joy. Tatum grabs the leg, spins Fallon around. Forearm strike, clothesline by Tatum. Boom, lovely kick. Fallon goes down, Tatum charges over. Whoa, I love that. That's a good move. So she cross bodies into the corner, but she stays there. That would be really good. Oh, I love that as well. 1, 2. Oh, she should have got the win with that. She should have got the win with that. She actually managed to get Fallon up, like spin around and plant her chest first. That's a lovely little move, that is. There's a couple of moves there, which we've just seen, that really deserve a little bit more breathing room than what they've just been given. That crossbody in the corner, like, if she wraps herself round when she's in the corner, looks right down the camera and screams, that would be a really fun signature move. And that little thing she just did should have finished the match. So, suplex there by Fallon. Oh. Hurling Fallon down. She grabs her off the rope, slams her down. She goes up top. Boom! 450 splash. 1, 2. Kick out. Kick out. That was not a picture perfect 450 splash. She sort of landed on her knees first and then kind of splashed down. But not a move that I can say I've seen out of Tatum. Or a lot that I can recall. So this is definitely one for breaking out. Your full move set. Drop kick through the ropes. That was good by Tatum. She knew that JC was going to get involved. She's going for that finishing move. Can't get it. She's quite innovative, Tatum, actually. Leg drop. Drives Tatum. Face first down. And that might be it. And it is. It's a win for Fallon Henley. Fallon beats Tatum There will be tears on social media because people really like Tatum Paxley. People do really like Tatum Paxley. Fallon retains. Shots coming in. They are beating up on. It is GG. Ooh, it's a little bit darker, that picture. The music seems a bit darker. Yeah, she returned at a live event the other day. Oh, she's in the ring. There we go. Well, they've got a history. GG and JC. Boom. Knee there by GG. Boom. Clothesline. Down goes JC. GG goes over to Tatum. And that could be a really interesting pairing. Could be a really interesting pairing. These two unloading. Bang. Whatever. Well, I think she got injured, didn't she? Wasn't it the last time we saw her? She was trying to make, or Ariana Grace was trying to make her a lady. Do you remember that? Ariana Grace was feuding with Gigi. I'm sure that was around the last time we saw her. And we just ended up having to drop that story. I miss Ariana Grace, actually. She always brought some really good, fun energy to the show. So I do definitely miss having her around. Hopefully get her back soon. She is the TNA liaison, isn't she, these days? But there we go. That was NXT. And I've got to say, that final match was all right. It was all right. My mind wasn't blown by it, but I thought it was all right. But GG coming back was a nice little talking point. Definitely appreciate that. Whilst you are getting the scores in, I am going to jump onto Twitter. I'm going to say feedback required. What did you think of this week's NXT? So, yeah, get in your thoughts. We do this now. I don't care about the views. We don't really get loads of people like watching the NXT review because I think NXT's got a limited appeal, what with it being developmental. But it just makes sense, doesn't it, to do it each week. We're sat here watching the shows every week. We know what's happening. We've got thoughts and opinions about it. So we might as well do a video on it. One comment per person, please. There we go. So, feedback request is up on my Twitter account right now. So, you can leave your thoughts over there. And, yeah, we'll get the scores in. Did you know that the Santa Claus with Tim Allen, after 3 parts, there's now a TV series? No, I didn't. I would watch that. I enjoyed the first film, and actually, I can't even remember what happens in the other films. I have seen them. But, yeah, that's a series I could quite happily sit down and watch. That's a good shout, that is, Christopher. Days for dinner, I tried Western barbecue bacon burger without chopped and fried onions at Steak and Shake in Merrillville tonight. Oh, well, I hope it was good. Metal Mama said it was all right. I'm going to give it a 7. Thank you for having us. Well, thank you for stopping by. Mr. Quake gives it 8.5. NXT show has gone off the air, said Blue Will Sonic. Triton said Christmas movie recommendation, The Santa Claus, but the one from 1980s with Dudley Moore and John Lithgow. Eric said, I've seen Gigi on Shotzi and Charlotte's Web Pass. I don't know what that means, Eric. It's a shame that Tatum didn't win, said Jim. Christopher said, I didn't get any internet, so I missed the Raw stream, but I hope everyone is good. Christopher, shout out to you. Gigi and Tatum are similar to the unholy union, says AB Jobson. Spartan said, did you hear Jude Bellingham saying about how people used him as a scapegoat and his family was scared to leave the house? Well, there was a lot of criticism of him not facing the media, and I do think he made a mistake by not coming out and explaining why. I think people would have understood if he'd have said, like, my family have been, you know, hounded by the press, and I know this is kind of what comes with, you know, the gig, but to be honest, I really want my family's privacy to be respected, and I've took the decision to not, you know, speak to the press at this time as a result. I think people would have had their thoughts about it, but I think they at least would have understood. But the fact that he was not doing the press just sort of made it seem like he felt he was above that now. So, you know, you had that narrative doing the rounds, which certainly didn't help. And, you know, so I don't think he helped himself by staying quiet on that situation. So, I don't know. Look, the disappointment, it was, we got to the final. It was a very disappointing performance in the final. Jude didn't look great throughout that tournament. And, I don't know, it's part and parcel of the game, isn't it? You know? If you are one of the world's best players, and then you play for England, and your performances don't seem to be up to par, people are going to talk. So, I think he knows that. But, to be honest, I don't think he was too down on that. I think, like, the whole press thing was getting to him, so I don't know. It's one of those, you gotta go with it, ain't you? You gotta understand this is part and parcel of it. Gotta rise above it. Daze, remember WWF Wrestling Challenge board game? Yes, I had that. I loved that game as a kid, played it all the time. Great game. Yeah, you're right. Random thought, beans on toast in every restaurant. Random thought, is beans on toast in every restaurant more popular cooked at home? It's a good question, actually. It's more popular at home. Beans on toast is a comfort food. It's a get back from work, I can't be bothered to cook. I mean, how long does it take to put bread in a toaster? And you open up a can of beans, put them into a bowl, put it in the microwave for 2 minutes. It's done. You know, it's a perfect lunch. It's a perfect, I can't be bothered to really cook anything tonight, dinner. You know, it's one of those where you go, should we just have beans on toast tonight? And so you have that instead. So actually going out to have beans on toast doesn't make a great deal of sense, because it's a comfort food that's quick and easy to do at home. So it's home food. But you can actually go to Wetherspoons, the pub chain, and it is an option on there, like they're on their breakfast menu. It is, you can actually get beans on toast at like Wetherspoons. Wetherspoons is a chain of pubs, and you'll find them in every city, every town. Normally, cities have like 3 or 4. Towns have like 1. But yeah, there's like a couple of hundred, good few hundred. I don't know how many, but loads all over the UK. And I think on their breakfast menu, there is beans on toast. Outside of that, I don't know that I've seen it on a menu. You won't get it in most places. In fact, I mean, maybe a greasy spoon like calf, which is like, you know, where the taxi drivers would go, or the bus drivers. They go in, they get a cup of tea, they get a bacon sandwich, maybe on there, you know, a full English, maybe on there, because they do beans for the full English and obviously toast for the full English. They might do beans on toast. But no, it is very much a home thing, really. I mean, I would recommend trying it. You've got to be able to get Heinz baked beans in America or wherever you are. And you've got bread. So, I mean, I'd say try it. It's warm. It's satisfying. It's easy to do. It just ticks all the boxes, mate. Put a bit of cheese on top. Lovely. Honestly. I could have it now. I might have it now. Beans on toast, is that a UK thing? I've not heard it on the streets where I live, said Christopher. I don't know where it was invented. If it is the UK, then that's a big dub. It's full of protein as well. Is beans on toast British or Irish? There are several theories on where baked beans originated, but the concept of baked beans on toast seems to be a British staple. Heinz claim that the combo was invented by one of their executives in 1927. So they claim that it was one of their executives in 1927. Heinz, of course, is a US company. But it's I don't know, I think we can claim it. I think we can claim beans on toast as being ours. So if that is true, then not only have we got a goated meal, but we also invented banoffee pie. We're actually really good at putting two things together. That's what I've learned. Fish and chips. Beans and toast. Banana and toffee. Banoffee. We're not very good at like inventing things from scratch, but we'll take two existing things, put them together, and then go, what do you think about that? And we'll claim that as our own. And it's a strategy that's worked quite well for us. So. Right, let's end the poll, shall we? Yes, let's. Daze, wouldn't it be great to have the McMahons, the Khans, the Jarretts, the Russos, the Turners, the Levesques, the Cornettes, and the Croquettes for a big Thanksgiving feast? One person gets KO'd, and I bet it would be the Khans. It would be fun, and it would be fun to have cameras there for that meeting of historically important wrestling families. I noticed how you didn't invite the Anawayis. Is that because you're worried that they'll eat all the food? I mean, Rikishi is not a small boy, is he? Okay. Neither's Jacob Fatu, actually, but in a slightly different way. Or Solo. I love rice pudding, said AB Jobson. Daze, how to find a Weatherspoons. Follow the blood trail. Ninja, shout out to you, my friend. Right, I need to run away because I need to go and do Unseen and everything, and we've already stuck around for a hot minute after. So appreciate the support as always. Unseen will hit the channel in a bit. It shouldn't take me too long, but it's probably going to be about an hour. So I'm going to do Unseen. Then we're back tomorrow with another Unseen. It might have to be the member stream tomorrow because, of course, on Thursday we're doing Misfits. So I might have to look into that. So, yes, thank you for joining us. Lots coming up. Obviously, Survivor Series this weekend. And hopefully you have a good evening, and I will see you again next time.